So, pink peppercorn, I'm quite behind. Prosecco. If you don't know what Prosecco is, it's a sparkling wine that's quite popular at the moment. Yeah, how does that work? There's a million horrifying bloody ingredients on here. Prosecco and pink peppercorn seasoning. There's milk in it. Yeah. Prosecco powder. There we are. Is that actually powdered wine? I kind of hope so, because that sounds awful. Right, once you pop, you can't stop unless they're this flavour, probably. Where's my free gift? There is no free gift. You've told me lies. How does this work? To claim a free digital gift, Pringles recipe book or party planner, and find out instantly if you have won one of 35,569 odd number winning moment prizes. Purchase a promotional card as a Pringles and enter batch code between blah blah blah. All right, I shall do this afterwards and then edit in right here if I've won anything or not. That would be exciting. Right, smell. Slightly, I would have said a vinegary smell almost. That does surprise me. Well, let's see what they're like. Oh. Oh God, they're proper weird. Oh man. So you don't really taste the pepper is kind of the aftertaste. And the main taste, it is that. It really does have a kind of sparkling wine thing going on. Oh. Oh God. Yeah, they are very strange indeed. Again, I'm not going to say they're massively unpleasant or anything, but holy crap, they're weird. They've got that Pringles thing of the horrible addictiveness, but yeah, I'm probably not going to eat a whole lot more. I'd say these are probably my favourite actually, as strange as they are, they're at least something different, and they don't give me a massive aftertaste of fir tree. They give me a nice aftertaste of pepper, which is slightly better. And the Brussels Sprout ones, all a bit unpleasant really. Well, there we go. What a year this is for weird crisps. Is this going to like grow? Is next year, half the crisp aisle going to be, I don't know, things tasting of bin bags, wrapping paper and regret? I have no idea, but well, as it stands this year, if you have to eat some of these, avoid the Brussels sprouts. Yeah, maybe it's kind of a tie-up between these. Whilst I personally prefer those are slightly more neutral, so that might do better for you. Anyway, Christmas.
This food truck is our baby. And like any baby, it's loud, stressful, and draining. And we love it. I refuse to let migraine keep me from saying, I am here.
Aimovig, a preventive treatment for migraine in adults, reduces the number of monthly migraine days. For some, that number can be cut in half or more. The most common side effects are pain, redness or swelling at the injection site, and constipation. Talk to your doctor about Aimovig and be there more.
Reason to use it, other than to go slightly faster. And what are these skeletons shooting lasers out their cocks? The one thing I truly hate about this game is that whenever you die, you go back to the main menu. In the other games, you get a continue screen. That's all you need, right? But here, you gotta wait for the screen to melt. Then you gotta stare at the game over screen.
Heyo, what's going on?
Come on.
What? Is my mic working?
This takes forever. And then it's back to the title screen. Hit start. Then select the file. Wait for the screen to load. And then pick
Hello,
your save
hello,
game.
hello,
Anal bag, that's me.
hello.
Then you gotta wait for the game to load. Come on! And finally,
Okay, good.
you continue from your
Because
last
last time I
save.
tried to do this, it wasn't
That
working.
is fucking atrocious. The boss battles are epic. In the end, you have to fight a dark priest named Shaft. But what's up with the name? Seriously, Shaft? And after that, you fight Dracula, and just, wow. Holy shit. The last and most important thing I have to address with this game is its gameplay style. It's the major breakthrough, what sets it apart from the previous games in the series. Instead of the simple linear style, it goes for a Metroid style with endless forks in the road, save points, and a map system. It's exactly like Metroid, and that's why many fans refer to it as Metroidvania. It also has some RPG elements. By fighting monsters, you earn experience points, and when you get enough experience points, you level up your power. There's
Come on,
all
where's
kinds
this
of
card?
potions and items and armor, weapons and sub-weapons, and this is a huge game. It takes hours to get through the castle. Does Dracula really
It's
need
kind of
such a
weird,
big
but
place to
okay,
live?
what?
And if that's not enough, you have to go through the whole castle all over again, upside down. Anyway, this Metroid style of Castlevania would become the dominant style of Castlevania for the rest of time. Sure, there was a 3D game every now and then, and it pretty much took on every style imaginable, but never again was there another classic linear Castlevania. The console versions continued to experiment, while the portable versions followed Symphony of the Night as the example. Pretty much the whole games take place inside the castle. I missed all that spooky scenery. The old games had cemeteries,
no.
forests.
That's
I mean,
weird,
since
dude.
when did the whole game have to take place inside the castle? Since
Why don't you go
Symphony of the
check
Night,
out
that's
Chatterbait?
This is where Castlevania seem to become more
I'm not a
distant
cam
from
whore, bro.
classic games and gravitate away from what I originally loved about it. They have so much text, and the storylines were getting ridiculous. In Dawn of Sorrow, Dracula's castle emerges from a solar eclipse in Japan. I thought Japan had enough trouble with Godzilla stomping around. Now they have Dracula too? By the way, that's a nice cover, isn't it? It's like a game within a game. Anyway, Symphony of the Night is often considered to be the best of the whole series. While I think it's an amazing game, my favorite is still Castlevania 4. The control was so satisfying in that game. Alucard's sword is not as much fun as Simon Belmont's whip. Sure, there is a way to unlock Richter Belmont, but this is only after you've already beaten the game. You can't whip in all directions, but you can do that little twirly thing, and Richter has some neat special moves. But I still prefer the feel of Castlevania 4, and being in total control of my whip. But for the most part, I think the challenge is better. In Symphony of the Night, whenever you come to a hard part, there always seems to be an easier way around it. You can turn into a bat and fly over, or sometimes you need to get more experience points, or there might be some weapon you need to equip, or an item that improves your stamina, or resists fire, or makes you immune to certain magic spells. There's so many variables here. In Castlevania 4, all you had was your own wit. You don't rely on tricks, it's just you and the game. And the only way to beat it is to beat it with your mind and your reflexes. And that, to me, is what Castlevania is all about. And once you've beaten the game in the wee hours of the morning and watched the castle crumble, you reflect on all that time you just spent.
Heyo. Two boys in the chat. What's up?
Those little replays from each level. It's like watching old memories. And that's what the Castlevania games are for me. Memories that will last forever.
gonna ask me to do cam horse shit too?
Waiting.
I have a lot of NES games. Look at all these fucking games. So many choices. Which one should I play? Well, here's a question. Which one's different from the rest? Huh? Which one juts out like a fucking piece of shit? This one. And look, what's that? Why, it's another game hiding behind it. It sure is a unique specimen. If it had only been for this, I'd say it's pretty strange, but the way it protrudes out, too, definitely makes it the most oddly shaped of the whole collection. Being that this is one of those unlicensed hack fucks who won't play in a classic Nintendo unless you stick another game on it. So that's what it's for. But all the other unlicensed games didn't have to do that, so why this one? It's just like Super Noah's Ark 3D, the only Super Nintendo game where you had to do that. If you play it on the top loader, then it works just like a regular game. It does look lonely and stupid, so I guess you could stack shit on top if you want.
You know what? I noticed something really weird. These are the only two games I know of that have that weird thing where you guys stick the game on the top. But they also both involve animals, slingshots, and fruit. I wonder if there's a connection. Probably not.
Anyway, what do you expect of a game based off of Little Red Riding Hood? You're familiar with the story, right? It goes something like this. Once upon a time, there was a girl named Little Red Riding Hood. She liked to jump in the air and whistle out her vagina.
What?
She kicked at trees until Big Bird's ball sack would appear.
What? That's not the story? Oh, well, excuse me, because this isn't Little Red Riding Hood. This is Little Red Hood. Yeah! Not to be confused. I don't know. Really, the real reason why it's called Little Red Hood instead of Little Red Riding Hood is because I have no fucking idea.
So this is the game. You just look at it and it sucks. It doesn't come as a surprise. It's not like there's any expectations to meet. It's not Spider-Man or Batman or something cool. It's a fucking fairy tale. So it doesn't even need to try to be bad. Well, just hold that thought, because pretty soon you're going to see how it goes way beyond your wildest nightmares. The first thing you try to figure out is how to attack. The B button makes her kick, but it doesn't do a damn thing. It's like the stick in Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde. Why do they give you an attack that doesn't do shit? On the cover of the fucking game it shows her kicking an enemy. Why can't you do it in the game? Why they have to fucking lie? The only thing the kick can be used for is kicking palm trees to make cherries appear. But please, God, tell me one thing. Why are there cherries coming out of a fucking palm tree? So that's it for the kick. So let's try the A button, which makes you jump. Can you use this as an attack? Nope. Well, that pretty much cancels it all out. But there's guys running all over the place trying to kill you. There's gotta be some way to attack, right? Well, sometimes when you pick up a rock, you might uncover a white dog, and if you're lucky, the dog will eat the bad guys. So that's basically your attack. Mario jumps on people, Link uses a sword, Little Red Hood uses a dog that she finds under a rock. I can't believe I'm explaining this. It's not even like you control the dog, it just wanders around. So you just have to hope that the dog and the bad guys accidentally walk into one another. Let's check out the store. The store always sells the same 3 items, even when there's 2 stores right next to each other. What's the point of that? It's like fucking Starbucks at every street corner. The first item is a potion that makes you invincible. It only works for a few seconds, so it's not worth the investment. The second item is a heart that regains your health. But tell me, why is your health indicated by those traditional fake Valentine-looking hearts when the heart you buy in the store is like a real human heart? Not to mention, you can find candy, which gives you some health back too. Not as much as the heart you buy in the store, but why would you pay for it when you can basically find the same thing for free? The third item is a slingshot. Now that's more what we're talking about. Now you'd expect her to use the slingshot to shoot rocks or something, right? But no, she throws the fucking thing.
Yeah, check this out. Look, I'm gonna hit you with this slingshot. I suppose if the game programmers put a gun in the game, you'd be throwing that as well. Does that make any sense? No.
It doesn't matter anyway, because after you've thrown only a few slingshots, it's gone. 1,000 gold pieces down the shitter. Even when you do kill anybody, they come back right away. Respawning enemies are common in games, but here, they don't even give you a second. The instant they die, they come back, almost as if nothing happened. So there's no purpose trying to kill anybody. All you can do is run, 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 like a little red pussy. Once you've gotten over that fact, you start wondering, what's the goal? How do you get to the next level? Well, this is where the real havoc begins. To begin with, the stage is small enough to span 2 TV screens. Occasionally a staircase will appear. You go down the staircase and you find a room. Here you can get some gold and some candy, but other than that, it's a dead end. The staircase continues to appear, but in no such way.
Heyo, what's going on?
I'm not sure if it goes off on a timer or whatever, but basically this staircase appears whenever it wants. It's never in the same place, but it always leads to the same room. You try kicking trees, but all you get are cherries, which don't seem to do anything. You try kicking rocks, and all you get are enemies or other items, no exit, and no clue whatsoever. Sometimes you get a balloon, but that only takes you to a bonus stage. One piece of gold always flashes, but I don't understand why, and I'm pretty sure it's just a glitch of some kind. You try all the boundaries, thinking that somewhere there's a spot where you can walk into the next part of the game, but it doesn't happen. All the trees, even that one little spot that looks like a fence, and even the areas that seem wide open are all just the same. A fucking barricade that might as well be a brick wall.
What a mystery, right? Well, this is when anybody would just shut off the game. Do you really want to know how to play it? One more of these and I'll tell you.
You need to get a key. Now, where could this key be hidden? Why, of course, it appears randomly inside one of the staircases, which also appear randomly. If you've been in that room once already, you just assume there's nothing there. So now that you have the key, what do you do with it? You're thinking, there's got to be a locked door or something like that, right? But no, you're supposed to wait for another staircase to appear, and that's the exit. That doesn't make any sense. How would a key unlock an open staircase that doesn't even have a door in front of it? At least if they put a keyhole on it, it would be more logical, but it would also let you know that you're supposed to use the key there. Oh, and I didn't even tell you how to make the staircase appear.
What did
That's
you,
where the
person
cherries
watching?
come in. You just go around kicking random trees, getting cherries, and when you've gotten enough of them, I think 12, the stairway appears. How would anybody guess that's what the cherries are for? There isn't even a counter to keep track of how many cherries you've collected. Come to think of it, there's nothing telling you how many lives you have either. You get no information. I've tried hitting start, select. There's no status screen, and unless you have an instruction manual, you'll never figure this out.
But now we know, so let's continue with the game. But first, let's recap and make sure we got this straight.
Type something in chat if you're a human.
All right. You wait for randomly flashing staircases to appear, in which you try to find a randomly appearing key, which randomly appears within the randomly appearing staircases, and then try to collect a random number of cherries that randomly appear as you kick palm trees to reveal another staircase that doesn't flash, or more or less appears to be flashing, but in a frozen state. You go in there, and then you're off to the next level. You got that? Well, good, because now all you got to do is do that 9 more times, and congratulations, you've learned the secret of playing Little Red Hood. The only thing you might be wondering now is what on earth does this have to do with the story of Little Red Riding Hood? Well, I'll tell you. Absolutely fucking nothing.
So now that you know how to play, you just gotta go through the same routine over and over. Because of the random nature of this game, each stage could take anywhere from 5 minutes to a half hour. It all depends when the stairways appear, when the key appears, and so on. It starts to wear on your mind very quickly. Every level looks alike. The colors are changed, the trees and the fruit are different, but overall the design is basically the same thing. But it goes beyond just being bland. They somehow managed to choose the most repulsive color schemes and patterns. Don't you wish there could have been a more appealing texture and hue rather than this diarrhea-ish brown? Look at the bear. Did they purposely try to make it match the background? They really couldn't help but use the same putrid color twice? The music never changes. Every level is the same frothy sound of crackling ass. Even something as simple as walking can't go without glitchy side effects. Like Metal Gear, you can't pass through narrow spots. I mean, if you can't walk through, why make it look like you can? Oh, never mind. I guess if you fidget around,
Hey,
enough,
babe.
it works.
Where is NE?
You can't jump when you're
Oh, it's
below a tree,
Nebraska?
as if your head is somehow hitting the trunk. Technically, this would mean the character is not jumping straight up into the air, but rather sideways, as if Little Red Hood exists in a two-dimensional space while jumping sideways into a three-dimensional tree. If you're walking above the trees, you can't walk behind the leaves. It's as if this vague space the tree occupies is a blockade. The items always appear at random, even in areas where you can't get to them, like inside a tree. Sometimes two items can appear in the same place. And sometimes an item can just randomly disappear. Everything about this game is a broken down mess.
Why would you do that?
It's just so random.
Why would you do
You know,
that?
How many times have I used the word random and appear?
What?
That's exactly what's happening. Stuff appears, or
Yeah.
doesn't appear, or randomly does something else. I feel like a guinea pig in an experiment where they're testing the effects of negative reinforcement. Let's see what happens if we take the key away. It's
That's really
20 years
weird.
late, but whoever you are, and if you want to know what the effect is, I'll tell you the effect. It's fucking pissing me off.
Nothing is consistent about this twisted piece of shit covered anal fuck. In this stage, the key is out in the open, guarded by a panda, I guess. Are any of the animals in this game supposed to be the big bad wolf? Anyway, the panda is the only enemy that kills you with one hit. Doesn't matter if you have full health, you touch the panda and you're dead. The only way you can get past it is if you get hit by something else and then pass through. Thank God for that after hit invincibility. Then there's this spot where you have to jump on turtles to get across a waterfall.
I think I'm
And this is not the
approaching
kind of game that has good
$250 that I've sold from this binder. This one binder.
Oh, fuck! Fuck! Level 5 is a C level. All you have to do is get 2 pearls. I guess they decide to change it up a bit. It's the easiest level in existence and has no purpose. Too bad there weren't any other levels like this so we can breeze through this fuckwad. But the most fucked up level of all is level 8. Here, the key never appears. Just never. It never appears. I played this stage for about an hour before I eventually looked up an online walkthrough from someone who probably had more time to spare than me. And guess what? In this stage, the key doesn't appear until you buy an invincibility potion and 3 slingshots.
How would anybody know to do that? You go through the whole game, all of a sudden they throw you a curveball and change the fucking rules. Imagine if in Super Mario Brothers, if one level you can't jump on the flagpole at the end, unless first you collect exactly 29 coins, stomp 3 Goombas, and get a fire flower. You want to know how I feel now? I'm fucking enraged. You don't just change the rules like that. This is shit sauce. This is Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde standards. And I'm still playing it. I don't even know why. I guess I can't resist being able to say I beat Little Red Hood. And you know what? I don't expect a good ending either. Why work hard on creating an elaborate ending when you've made the game so hard to figure out that there's not a chance in hell anyone would get that far? In fact, I expect a shitty ending. A fucking loathsome, ass-sucking shit heap of an ending.
Oh, my dear Little Red Hood, thank you for your coming.
You did not disappoint. It's winter, it's fucking cold, we're playing some winter games. Oh boy. But anyway, let me get the greeting out of the way. Merry Christmas, Happy Hanukkah, happy everybody, happy holidays. And if you have a problem with happy holidays, then happy shut the fuck up. But there ain't nothing happy about this shit.
This is Winter Games on the NES. It's one of those Olympic sporting games, which seems like a simple concept. How bad could it possibly be? But this is just one piece of the turd shat out by Epix. They made Summer Games, California Games, World Games, and of course Winter Games, which found its way on every home console known to mankind. The Commodore, Amiga, Apple computers, and the Atari 2600, just to name a few. And to be fair, most of them weren't that bad for the time. They're simple sporting games that anyone could pick up and play. But then comes the NES version. You'd expect this one to be a huge improvement, but let's see. Alright, the game boots up, and a runner comes to light an Olympic torch. Yeah, cool. Can I skip it? What's the point? I don't want to watch this. I want to play the game. I guess the programmers were really impressed with their work here. It looks okay, but it's not worth staring at every time you start the fucking game. Even more senseless, they actually give you an option of replaying the intro. I obviously saw it once. Why the fuck would I want to see it again? The name entry screen is a disaster. You can't move the cursor up or down. It only goes left and right. Isn't that fun? Not to mention, they only let you spell 4-letter words, which I can think of plenty, but how many names would have less than 4 letters? If you try to add a 5th letter, it goes back and replaces the first letter. Then you gotta figure out how to start over. When it reaches the last letter, why couldn't it just stop? The simplest thing to do is to type in all A's, then go left once to get to the enter button. Because why put in a name anyway? It's not like the game's gonna save it, but if it did, I guarantee most of the high scores would belong to
The point is, how hard is it to program something as simple as a name entry screen? If they can't even get that right, then whoa, wait till you see the game. In the Atari 2600 version, you compete in different events like bobsledding and skiing. It was simple, but it worked. So being that this is NES, they're obviously going to top what they did before, right? You know, jumping over to a newer console, there's going to be some improvements, maybe some more events. The Atari version had 7 events, so we can assume that this one will have 4? Only 4? The NES just got its 8-bit ass handed to it by the Atari 2600. Well, that's fine with me. Spares me the shittiness. It makes you wonder how it compares with the Atari 7800. Well, this one too had only 4, but some of the events are different. So in total, between the two consoles, it's as if they have the same amount of games as the Atari 2600, but when the 7800 and the NES came out, they divided them between the two.
Ayo, what do you think of these?
Never heard that happening before.
The first event is called Hot Dog Aerials. I wonder what that could be. Oh, ski jump. Okay. Why is it called Hot Dog Aerials? Well, all that happens here, you jump, you crash, you jump, you crash, you jump, and you crash. Very rarely I've gotten the fucker to land, by some sort of luck. All you can do is jerk the D-pad around and hope for the best. Fuck! What people could be sadistic enough to design a game with such a dysfunctional control scheme? The only people in the world who would call the ski jump Hot Dog Aerials. Next is speed skating. I'm surprised it's not called Cat Tit Bingo. Okay, so the first thing that happens, your opponent speeds away, but you just stand there. You try every button on the controller until you realize you're supposed to tap right and left on the D-pad repeatedly. It's hell on your fingers, and it ranks right up there with Ghostbusters when you have to go up the stairs by tapping A and B. Is this supposed to be fun? Is it supposed to be challenging? Rocking the D-pad left and right? Was this game designed for monkeys? They don't even have the courtesy to explain it. You need the manual.
Yo.
There is a practice mode, but it's the same exact thing as the regular game. There's no on-screen instructions whatsoever. How do you like that? Listen. Exquisite.
Isn't that the most beautiful, radiant sound that has ever been blessed upon your soul? Its exuberant tonality harmoniously blends the dying squeals of electronic ghosts with the melodic rapture of diarrhea bubbling from a coyote's crap hole.
Next, let's try the bobsled. Okay, I don't get this at all. What's all this shit on the screen? Am I supposed to be looking here or here? I guess that's the bobsled. Is that the slope? The
play.
shading looks like crap.
Light
Literally, it's like
play.
they poured diarrhea into an ice maker. And what's that jumbled white shit? Is it scrambled Japanese text that's glitching up? Do I need to take the cartridge out and blow on it? Or is it supposed to be clouds? All you do is steer the bobsled using left or right. So once again, the only control that you use is the D-pad. It's funny how the NES controller has two big bright red buttons that never seem to come
Found
in
it.
handy. In fact, I believe the B button is never even used once in the entire game. So this is actually very simple, but because the screen is all split up like comic book panels with a speedometer and other unnecessary bullshit, it makes it look like it's more complicated than it really is. Well, there's only one event left, figure
Mirror
skating. There is no hope for this game redeeming itself. This is the worst event of all. I don't know how the point system is judged, but the idea is to simply make this girl do all kinds of ice skating tricks. You mash the D-pad all around and try tapping the buttons, and all that happens, she falls flat on her face. Very rarely I was able to get her to spin, but the final score always results in a 0.0. That's pretty harsh. You don't even get a decibel point for spinning around. This is painful. The timer seems to last an eternity, and the Nutcracker music is torture to your ears. And I know this is ice, but staring at a screen that's 90% white makes me feel like I'm going blind.
I'm not even kidding, but if I were to give out an award, a big shit-dripping trophy for the worst controls ever in a video game, I think it would go to this. I mean, look at it. I've never seen anything this unresponsive. I'm hitting every button combination possible. You know, all it needs to be said about Winter Games is that you push buttons. That's all it is. How's Winter Games? You ever play Winter Games? Yeah, you push buttons, that's it. Go like this. You're playing Winter Games. You ever watch a movie where someone's pretending to play a video game, but you can tell they're just acting, they're just going like this? They're playing Winter Games. Yeah. Who programmed this thing? Maybe it was Fred Fox. This is a blizzard of balls! I can't believe humanity was capable of degrading itself so low as to produce such an insulting catastrophe of ass! Do not store in extreme temperatures. Do not immerse in water. Do not clean with benzene, thinner alcohol, or other such solvents. Do not hit or drop cartridge. Do not attempt to disassemble. Like that. Burn, motherfucker, burn! Yeah!
Look here, let me tell you something. You better come on now.
Free market coverage.
Out of envelopes.
Wanna play some games? Wanna play some shitty games? Hang on just a second. I gotta go get my mail. What the hell's all this shit? There's metallic sea sponges everywhere. There's titanium rocket jock straps, headless parrots with bottle caps, floating eyeballs entrapped in glass lids. How is this all happening? Oh, of course, it's the year 2010. Holy shit, this was all foreseen in the game Street Fighter 2010. Yeah, I should have known. It's crazy. Remember how futuristic the year 2000 seemed? My whole childhood, it seemed like every movie, every video game, it was always 2000. It sounded so high-tech and so far away. But now, fuck that. It's the 10-year anniversary of the year 2000. In 5 years, we're going to have flying cars and hoverboards and self-lacing shoes. It better happen. Otherwise, they should have made it the year 3000. Even if they made it 2100, we'd all be dead. It wouldn't make a difference anyway. Better be a mystery than to be wrong. Anyway, the oldest Street Fighter game that most people have played was Street Fighter 2. But this one on the NES came before, and it just so happens to take place in 2010. Who would have thought that Street Fighter's past lied in the future, which is now the present? Let's take a look at this. I can only imagine. We're going to be Tiger uppercutting through space and time. We're going to be throwing sonic booms on the moon, Hadoukens up Uranus. Fuck Street Fighter 4. This is Street Fighter 2010.
Target versus Ken. Okay, I know who Ken is, but Target? I'll accept that it's some weird devil with a scorpion stinger that doesn't exist in any other Street Fighter game, but are they really calling it Target? Maybe it's Target. So, welcome to Street Fighter in space. There may not be streets in space, but there are fights. The gameplay is unlike anything I can describe. It definitely doesn't feel like Street Fighter. It comes a little closer to Mega Man because of its laser ball projectiles and Ninja Gaiden because of climbing on walls, but even those games don't help describing it. No matter what you do, you always end up flipping around and grabbing onto everything in sight. It's as if the controls themselves are too futuristic and advanced for anyone to comprehend. When attacking, your enemies have to be right next to you or above you, because you can only shoot straight ahead or straight up. There is a way to shoot down, but it involves doing some kind of aerial somersault, and you can only pop off one shot at a time if you're in midair. Oh, and by the way, to shoot diagonally up, you press down and B. I'm not kidding.
You press down to shoot diagonally up.
What the hell is this poop-plastered, shit-smothered piece of fuck? And what does it have to do with Street Fighter? Well, Ken's in it. That's about it. It has Ken, or more or less a guy in a spacesuit named Ken. I guess it would help if I read the backstory. Let's see. Ken, the Frontier, partner of Troy, Lab, Puddle of Jelly, Street Fighting Circuit, Cyberplasm, Overdose, Violent Mutants.
Alright, so what I get out of this is Ken won the street fighting circuit, then he became a scientist and invented some kind of thing called cyboplasm. I guess it's like ectoplasm, just with a little more cybo. And then his partner, some guy named Troy, was killed, and then the cyboplasm is stolen, and then everybody's turned to mutants, and basically, yeah, that's about it. I wouldn't be surprised. Ken is the only Street Fighter character in this game. No Guile, no Chun-Li, no M. Bison. Instead, we get Target, the scorpion devil alien from the year 2010. I guess we can make the best of it and just pretend it's Street Fighter.
Hadouken! 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 You win!
It doesn't work. Even when I put the sound effects in, it's not Street Fighter. It worked better when they brought Punch-Out to outer space. And you want to know what the most confusing part of the whole story is? In the original Japanese version, the character's name was Kevin Stryker. It was the US version which changed the name to Ken and added that one little tiny reference to the street fighting circuit in an attempt to tie it in with the game in which it's fucking named after. So you're telling me the Japanese version had less to do with Street Fighter? As in nothing?
I I guess you could say this is where the series got sidetracked before hitting big with Street Fighter 2, which then went off on its own tangent. Man, Street Fighter is the only series to have a sequel which had its own series. Most people never played or even heard of Street Fighter 1. I almost wondered why they even bothered to call it Street Fighter 2 on the home consoles. They could have just called it Street Fighter. Kind of like with Final Fantasy VI, they ignored the missing sequels and just called it 3. So, whatever happened to the original Street Fighter? I have laid eyes on the arcade cabinet 20-something years ago, so I know it existed. Only in recent years I've discovered that it was ported onto the
What's going on, man?
64 and every home computer at the time before
Sorting
landing
some
on the TurboGrafx
stamps.
16 CD.
Mail out this
Ah,
order.
yeah, I finally get to talk about this thing. When Super Nintendo and Sega Genesis were fighting the 16-bit war, the TurboGrafx 16 was chilling in the background. It's a unique specimen. Its games didn't come on cartridges, but instead these neat little cards and CDs. The CD unit was sold separately, and it was the first CD game console, at least in North America, so the technology didn't quite catch on yet. In combination with that, most people owned either a Super Nintendo or Sega Genesis. Not only would you have had to own a TurboGrafx 16, you'd have to buy the CD attachment too. So it's no wonder no one played the first Street Fighter game. And to be even more elusive, they changed the fucking title to Fighting Street. That doesn't make any sense. But at least you get to play as classic characters such as Ryu, George Washington, and Abe Lincoln.
The mystery is solved. We're finally playing the original Street Fighter. And guess what? It sucks ass.
I'm sure the arcade version was better, but this is lousy. And the only reason I say that is the control. The special moves only work whenever they feel like it. You can try to throw a Hadouken the entire fight, and it'll never fucking work. Also, the voices sound like shit.
Welcome to Telephone Dog all over the world.
Wah, 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 wah.
The only characters you get to play as are Ryu and Ken. They can only be selected by plugging the controller into the first port for Ryu and the second for Ken. There's no character select screen. There's a couple training stages thrown in. It's primitive, but for one of the first fighting games, it wouldn't have been bad aside from the awful control. Come on, do the move, do the move! Oh, you son of a bitch! Come on, do a Shoryuken! Oh, come on, Shoryuken! More like sure you can. It's no wonder why nobody remembers this game. Of all the revisions and turbo enhancements they've done to Street Fighter 2, an already great game, it makes me wonder why they weren't doing the same to the original to make it better. Street Fighter the Good Edition. How about that? Believe it or not, the first game intended as a sequel was Final Fight. Originally it was called Street Fighter 89. However, they treated it as an entirely different kind of game with a beat-em-up style. So Final Fight became its own series, but Capcom would often make small crossovers to tie them together. In Final Fight 2, you can see Chun-Li in the background, and some Final Fight characters would appear in later Street Fighter games. The title Street Fighter 89 was changed after they exhibited the game at a trade show. The feedback they got led them to change it on the grounds that it had nothing to do with Street Fighter. Oh, but not at all like that one.
Whoa. Man, I got way off track. I still gotta finish this. You know what? I just noticed. The full title is Street Fighter 2010, The Final Fight. The irony is stunning and I'm nerding the fuck out of myself, but how do you make a game named off the two other games and not have anything to do with either of them? Maybe it means Final Fight as in this is the future, this is the final Street Fighter fight. But Street Fighter? Maybe it's based off the Street Fighter movie series from the 1970s. It has just as little relation. Oh, and speaking of Street Fighter movies, remember Street Fighter the movie, the game? This is the Sega Saturn version. How do you like that? Knocking another console off the list.
Anyway, this is one of the stupidest ideas I ever heard. They make a movie based on the game, and then a game based on the movie. Not to mention the movie was more or less based off Street Fighter 2 and not the first one. It kind of resembles Mortal Kombat with its digitized actors, but not as good. It's not a bad game either. It's like Street Fighter 2, but the controls are a little more stiff. For curiosity's sake, it's fun to play, but it just makes you wish you were playing Street Fighter 2 instead.
Whoa, whoa, whoa. Alright, I got really sidetracked. I was trying to review Street Fighter 2010, And, you know, I just talk about one thing, I end up talking about something else. But that's what happens, man. And you know what? If they didn't call it Street Fighter, maybe I wouldn't have had that problem. So from this point on, let's just forget about the title. Take the name Street Fighter and just throw it away.
The objective for each stage is to find a portal. The portal never appears until you destroy the target enemy, and that's why all the enemies are called target. Yeah, it is awkward, but that's what it means. So you destroy the target, the portal appears somewhere, and you have to race and get to it within a very short time limit, and I mean very short. There's a time limit within the stage, too. I'm running around trying to kill this plant thing, but the motherfucker won't stay still. Come on, I'm running out of time. Fuck. The graphics look like some kind of weird cyber nightmare. I like it. It's kind of like a cross between Salvador Dali and H.R. Geiger. Other times, you're in a psychedelic limbo with clown music shooting at frogs. The background looks like one of those magic eye pictures, you know, the ones you're supposed to stare at and go cross-eyed. Each stage gets harder and pushes you to new levels of frustration. There's this stage where the screen keeps moving horizontally. If you don't make it through fast enough, you die. Sometimes you have to choose between taking the time to kill an enemy or just rushing through because you're gonna die anyway if you don't move your ass. Then there's this stage where the screen actually moves back and forth. The most difficult thing about this game is attacking. There's so many airborne enemies that you can't do anything about. I'm climbing on a fucking waterfall of diarrhea. I can't shoot up or down, and because the enemies are coming from up and down, that's really a fucking problem. Ugh, I can't shoot you! Get away from me! I'm getting murdered! I'm getting butt fucked up the dick! Then there's the sand stage where you have to fight a boss, but there isn't any foundation to be able to fight. You're jumping around in the sand trying to work your way to the bottom of the screen so you can shoot this guy, but every time you get low enough to shoot him, he shoots first and you gotta jump back up. You never get the chance. I wish all this fucking sand wasn't here. Then there's this stage where you have to shoot an eyeball on the ceiling, but there's no way to reach it unless you have full power up. But you can't go back and get any power up, so you're screwed. The only thing you can do here is wait for these mucus walls to build up, stand on the very edge right here, and then you have to face the opposite direction. This is the only way you can hit this eyeball. But then good luck trying to avoid all the other shit coming at you. You can never pay attention to one thing at a time. This game is all about distractions, and it forces you to multitask. No matter how used to it you think you get, each level throws something different your way. You have to keep developing new strategies. This game is incredibly annoying, but it's also very stimulating. If the controls were less limited and some of its flaws were ironed over, I'd say it's an underrated NES classic. It gives you an adrenaline rush, and it pisses you off just enough that you don't want to give up. Whenever you beat a stage after hours of trying, there's nothing more satisfying and triumphant than to hear that glorious sound. However, the final stage goes way too far. It's the most heartless and abominable end stage ever programmed. What you get here is an endurance round. You have to fight 3 bosses and then go on to a final boss who has 2 different forms, all on one single life. You die once, you go back. First, it's this fucking clam-shaped thing, then it's this fuck brain, then these 2 disappearing mummified armadillo robots in a room that randomly spouts fire all about. On top of trying to stay alive, you have to do it all before the time runs out. Oh look, I beat him, and the time's still going. Come on, I gotta get to the final boss. Yes, I made it. 2 seconds to spare. Then you get a cutscene. There's no way anybody's gonna bother to read this. Your heart is pounding so fast and you're ripping your hair out of your head wondering, what the fuck am I gonna have to fight now? I'm at the final boss. What is it? What is it? What? The fucking time limit? You think that after the cutscene the timer would start over. But no! You fight the 3 bosses, then it's the cutscene, then you fight 2 forms of the final boss. So that's basically 5 bosses in total, all on the same life bar and the same time limit. You get unlimited continues, so there's no excuse to shut off the game. You just keep playing and playing and playing. Eventually, you start to get good at it. You can blow through all these bosses, taking as little damage as possible, but then the time always runs out. So you do it real fast, but then you end up getting killed. Then you start to go through a phase where you get so frustrated that all the skill you've accumulated starts to weaken. So instead of getting better, you actually start to get worse because you've been playing the same fucking thing over and over. The final boss looks like a big blistering ball sack that swallowed Grimace. His only weak spot is the face. The ideal strategy is to climb on the wall and keep shooting, but your beam doesn't reach. Not without full power-ups. You can try jumping off and shooting, but that takes too long. You don't have time. When you're plowing through the stage, you gotta stop and get all the power-ups. But that wastes time too. But you gotta do it. You gotta somehow make it all happen. You can't beat one boss flawlessly, but then fuck up a little on the next one. You gotta, 1, beat all the bosses without getting hurt too much. 2, get all the power-ups. And 3, do it fast as shit. All in one perfect run. But once you do it, man, you're on the fucking top of the world. Yeah, boom, boom.
And that, my friends, is Street Fighter 2010. That's all I have to say. So Happy New Year, Happy New Decade. Am I forgetting anything? Yeah. Forgot my fucking mail. Oh, hide lie. Just saying the name gives you a gag reflex like you're about to puke. Hide lied. Sounds so wretched and foul. Maybe it's pronounced hidlide, but who knows? And who even knows what the fuck it means?
It's a typical adventure game where you play as a guy with a sword who has to explore a fantasy world, fight monsters, collect treasures, and rescue a princess. Picking up a game like this in itself is like embarking on an adventure. You can stick to the familiar NES classics, or you could be a brave explorer in search of the unknown. You might uncover a gem or a turd covered in vomit. And this is the turd covered in vomit. While the concept isn't very unique, the first thing you see is a dragon that shoots fire at a princess, making her explode into 3 fairies. I've never seen that happen. As soon as you start playing the game, the first thing that comes to anybody's mind is Legend of Zelda. Now be prepared, we're going to reference Zelda an awful lot. It seems like Hydlide would have ripped off Zelda, but actually Hydlide came first on the PC-88, which was a home computer in Japan. It came out on the NES after, following in Zelda's wake. Imagine buying this game based on its cover, expecting something as good as Zelda, and then going home and playing it and finding out it's a piece of shit. If there's anything this game truly ripped off, it's the music. It's just a variation on the Indiana Jones theme, and it never stops. It's like winding up a music box and letting it play for an eternity, except for the last screen, which also sounds like Indiana Jones. Let's get down to the gameplay. Attacking is a joke. You're supposed to hold down the A button and run into the monsters. In Zelda, you actually see the sword come out. But here, there's nothing. Did they forget to animate it? Am I supposed to use my imagination like a fucking board game? When you kill something, they just disappear. Nothing happens. They don't burst or make a sound effect or do anything to make you feel the satisfaction of killing an enemy. There's no skill involved. You'll never know whether or not you're hitting the monster or the monster's hitting you. It's just as random as rolling the dice or playing the lottery. Sometimes you win, sometimes you lose. But I guess it's better than using drugs or alcohol, because with drugs and alcohol, especially drugs, you always lose. If you're lucky, your experience will go up, but it only goes up 1 pixel at a time. If you want to level up, you gotta fill up the whole bar. This is what it looks like in fast speed, but can you imagine how long it takes to do this? You can't, unless you played it. You can also do a magic attack by pressing the B button, but it's really confusing. You have to scroll through your different magic spells, and when you get to the spell you want, hit the A button to be in attack mode, and then hit B to cast the spell. By the time you do all that, you're already dead! And what the fuck is this? Am I fighting a rock? whenever you die, take a guess what happens. You go back to the beginning. Yep, it's one of those games. No extra lives, no continues, you don't get diddly dick. There is a password system, but it's the most perplexing, back-ass, and unorthodox use of a password I've ever seen in a game. First, you bring up the menu and go to save. That sounds pretty simple, right? You just save the game. But no, that's not at all how it works. All save does is give you a password, but it doesn't show you the password, and you'll never even know it's there until you go down to password. And there you go. Now you gotta write the fucking thing down. The time it takes to write it down and then re-enter it is almost the same time it takes to just start the game over. What were they thinking? They couldn't come up with a better way? How about just giving me the password after I die? How about extra lives? How about a continue option? Or even better, how about a battery backup like in Zelda and actually making save really save the game? Load? When would I ever want to load a game from within the game? If I died, I'd be doing this from the main menu screen with the password option, unlike the password option from the menu within the game, which gives you the password that you got from the save option. Speed? Do I really care what that does? Game? Does that let me pick a different game? Because that would be a good fucking idea! Even if you get used to this whole password fiasco, figuring out how to play the game is a puzzle itself. There's treasure chests, which some you can open and others you can't. Sometimes you go into dark caves, but this is suicide because you're just going to run into walls and get killed by fireballs. And sometimes you just die at complete random. There's probably something in the dark killing me, like a rat or some kind of pitfall. Who knows? You can't see it unless you get a lantern.
What's up?
To get the lantern, you have to kill a vampire. How do you kill the vampire? Oh, the cross, of course. Oh, wait. What the hell? Oh, you gotta hit him from the back. Oh. Anyway,
First
I got the
7.
lantern. Now I'm going back to that dark cave to figure out what the fuck was killing me. I don't see anything, so that only concludes there was nothing. That's a cheat if I ever saw one. The game kills you with nothing. Anyway, you make it through this maze and get a stronger sword. You write down the password, die, enter the password, pick up where you left off, make it a few steps further, write down the next password, die, re-enter the password, and repeat. You collect a pot, a jewel, and fairies from random trees. Then you go across the desert to the castle, which warps you to the water, and you swim to the island with the 2 wizards, hit them with the wave magic at the same time, obviously. The 3 fairies fly you to the island, burn the bush, grab the gravestone, kill the dragon, get the jewel, go back to the castle, kill the last guy, and you win. Do I feel accomplished? No. I feel like this game just wasted my fucking time, making me have to figure out all this cryptic shit. That's not to say Zelda didn't have its own cryptic shit. You have to burn a bush to reveal a staircase, and there's thousands of bushes where it could have been. There's a lake where you have to use a flute, a statue that you have to push, and a specific rock where you're supposed to lay a bomb. I'm only raising the question, what is it we love about all the puzzle solving that goes on in Zelda? Perhaps it wasn't as hard to figure out, maybe there were more clues within the game, and people discuss this game much more, sharing all the secrets. But I do have to admit, my first time playing through Zelda, I got stumped a lot too. Maybe it just boils down to the fact that it's a much more well-designed game, and it's fun, so you enjoy playing through it and trying to figure it all out.
Hydlide just doesn't have the same fulfillment. It's a mediocre adventure game with some serious flaws. And that's what you get for reaching into the dark depths of the NES library. You might as well be reaching into a dog's asshole, because all you're going to find is shit. We're talking some real intense shit right here. We're talking Ninja Gaiden. Everyone always said Ninja Gaiden, but I know for a fact it's Gaiden. You know where I learned that? From the wizard.
Yeah, back then, nobody knew how to pronounce the names. It's like in Street Fighter. We didn't know Ryu was actually Ryu. Blanca, some people say Blanca, but there's no way it could be that, because Blanca sounds like blanket, man. Anyway, Ninja Gaiden to me is one of the most memorable games of the 8-bit era. While the arcade version was a Double Dragon style beat 'em up, the NES version is an adrenaline charged side scroller. Every second counts when you're slashing away at enemies and hopping platforms, and learning how to bounce back and forth between walls is a necessity. As an added bonus to its hot gameplay, excellent graphics, and music, It was also one of the first games to have cutscenes. Common nowadays, sure, but back then, gamers hadn't seen anything like it. So epic. The story follows a ninja named Ryu who travels to America to avenge his father's death. It seemed everyone always assumed that it was the same Ryu from Street Fighter, but I'm pretty sure there's no relation. To further perpetuate this alleged tie-in, they had to name Ryu's father Ken. Okay, Ryu and Ken? How could you not think Street Fighter? As the story unfolds, it turns out before Ken was killed, he was working together with an archaeologist, Walter Smith. They were the safekeepers of two demon statues.
That was the weirdest thing in the world. So I've been licking a lot of stamps, right? That stamp tasted like mint. It was a Christmas stamp, too. Like a candy cane. So apparently some year they had a random set of stamps that tasted like candy canes.
That when combined would awaken an ancient demon that had previously been defeated by Shinobi. Yeah, Shinobi, as in the Sega franchise. This game is a whole network of Ninja Cross references. The sequels continued to have awesome cutscenes, and throughout the series, Ryu would always say, what was he gonna say? What the fuck? Oh, and what is going on there? It always kept you waiting to see what would happen next. Your reward for beating the level was that you get to see the next part of the story. Its cinematic style contained elements of anime and film noir. Throw that together with some fast-paced, high-stake gameplay, and man, the effect was intoxicating. The only problem with these games is that they are relentlessly difficult and nearly inconceivable to beat. The second game incorporated new stage hazards that were never seen before. There's the wind level, where the wind keeps changing direction, so you have to time your jumps accordingly. Such a pain in the ass. Then there's the ice level, where you slide all around. And my most hated of all is when everything goes dark. You might as well be playing blindfolded. The third game is the worst of all, because up until this point, they had unlimited continues. But not this one. There's nothing more frustrating than to make it really far and then have to start all the way back from the beginning. I'd say this is the hardest trilogy of games on the NES, even harder than Castlevania. I'm going to focus on the first Ninja Gaiden. It's been over 20 years, and I still can't beat this son of a bitch. One of the biggest problems is that if an enemy is anywhere near the edge of the screen, they will respawn infinitely. Nice. Thanks for wasting my firepower. The number one most constant issue in this game is getting knocked back. It's the same as in Castlevania. It doesn't matter where you are, no matter which angle you get hit from, it always seems you gravitate towards the nearest hole. You know, I've forgotten that this game has a life bar. Yeah, you can actually die if you take enough hits, but whenever you get hit, there's a death trap right next to you, so you're always going to die by falling. You might as well not even have a life bar. Look at this guy. How am I supposed to get past him? Fuck. Wow. Fuck! Fuck!
This is impossible! How am I supposed to beat this? Please, teach me how to beat Ninja Gaiden.
Ninja Gaiden. I haven't heard that name in ages.
Really?
Normally they say Ninja Gaiden.
Does that mean I'm worthy?
Playing Ninja Gaiden is a secret art. Only the most determined players can defeat it. Sight! You must be quick. You must be strategic. Can you learn that, my boy?
I've wanted to beat that game all my life.
You realize before you can beat the game must beat you.
And it has. For the past 20 years, it's kicked my ass. I love the game. I want to complete that love by finishing it.
Very well.
Fuck!
Sloppy, is the game controlling you, or are you controlling the game?
God, I keep getting stuck on the wall.
Ninja must be master of his environment.
And what the fuck was that? Oh, come on. How was I supposed to know a bat was coming?
A ninja must look beyond the borders of the screen.
Got him. Oh, there's another bat.
Try again. Practice. Unlimited continues means no game over. Game is only over when you make it over.
What am I supposed to do? The bats keep coming.
You must move. How is one to advance if you waste all your energy on one enemy?
Oh, your mother.
You must not act too quick or too late. Perceive the victory in your head, and your perceived future will be your present.
Yeah!
Good.
No, I jumped a bat, got killed by a cat. That's the way this whole game is. It's just an endless cycle of things that kill you. Like a checkmate.
Nerd, checkmate does not exist unless you make it exist. Think between the spaces, nerd. If you set a course for the moon and merely follow the stars, then you will miss that which you have set forth.
Look at all this shit. There's a million flying enemies. And they all respawn quicker than I can attack.
You're playing with anger. Anger does not exist. Pain does not exist. Defeat does not exist. Ah! Before you leap, you must look.
I looked.
Before you look, you must think. Before you think, you must feel. Ah! Before you feel, you must.
I've had enough.
Come, show me your thumbs.
What?
Your thumbs.
My thumbs.
Like this.
What?
What? Faster. You are slow as sloth taking shit. Come, we will develop speed. Q-tip. When I drop Q-tip, you catch with thumb. Saida. Too slow. Again. Again. Ha, pecho. Ha, pecho. Saida. Very, very slow. Saida. Too slow. One more time. Focus. Ready? Stop! I told you not to fail. Say. We learn rhythm. Speed is rhythm. Rhythm is life.
This is impossible. How is a human being supposed to be faster than a machine?
Game machine. Machine predictable. You nuts.
What?
No chopper offer.
shit. Oh. That's unbelievable.
With that attitude, you'll never succeed.
Final boss, final boss!
You have 3 final bosses.
The first boss isn't too hard once you know how it's done, but the second boss is a nightmare. His fireballs never miss. They follow you everywhere you go. Are you fucking kidding me? I'm all the way back at stage 6-1? That's fucking horse shit. You die on the boss, you go all the way back?
You die, you go back. You must learn discipline.
But how am I supposed to practice on the boss? As soon as I start to learn the pattern, I die and I have to go through the last stages all over again. The hardest section of the whole game is this part right here. It would be so much easier if I had a throwing item like a ninja star. But this game is very stingy with its special weapons. The ammunition is scarce, and whenever you die, you reset to nothing. Even if you do manage to get to this part with a weapon, it doesn't help much. And once you die, you can't go back and restock. This section contains no weapons, so all you have is your sword. The only way to get past this motherfucker is to trigger a glitch, making him disappear. But that only happens if you're really lucky. Then you'll get another shot at the boss, but they don't even have the fucking courtesy to refill your life bar. That is sadistic. Whoever programmed this thing, I want to rip their fucking heart out of their ass and show it to them so they can see how cold and black it is before they die. There's no stage select code, and no helpful Game Genie code either. Infinite lives? Yay. Isn't that what you have already? How about put me back at the boss so I can get another try? At least it lets you skip all the bosses that you've beaten, but it makes me sick to think that there's still one more boss I haven't made it to. I give up.
You must not give up. No game over.
Game's over now. You try. Fuck! Nunchuck fuck! Balls! You know, the whole fucking trilogy is impossible. The first game sends you back, the second has the stage hazards, and the third one has game overs. So it's like pick your poison. Well, I got my poison right here.
This food truck is our baby. And like any baby, it's loud, stressful, and draining. And we love it. I refuse to let migraine keep me from saying, I am here.
Aimovig, a preventive treatment for migraine in adults, reduces the number of monthly migraine days. For some, that number can be cut in half or more. The most common side effects are pain, redness or swelling at the injection site, and constipation. Talk to your doctor about Aimovig and be there more.
Once upon a time, video games were more than games. They were adventures. I'm talking about the Sword Quest games for the Atari 2600. They were based on the 4 ancient elements of the cosmos: Sword Quest Earthworld, Fireworld, Waterworld, we're not talking about the Kevin Costner movie, and at last there was going to be Airworld. In these games, the player navigates through a series of mystical chambers in search of hidden treasures, but you weren't just playing a game, you were on a real adventure searching for real treasures. Atari was giving out prizes, and we're not talking about cheap plastic little things you get from a McDonald's Happy Meal. No man, this was real stuff. Here's how it worked. First, you'd have to buy the games, which all came out one at a time. If you became a club member, they'd mail you a t-shirt along with the games as soon as they got released. Not to mention, each game came with a poster and a DC comic book. The games were all about finding clues, so you'd write down all the clues and send them to Atari. Those who found the most would go to Atari headquarters to compete in the finals. Here they'd have custom-made versions of the game, which the players had 90 minutes to finish. Whoever finished first would win the prize. The winner of Earthworld got a talisman made of 18-karat solid gold studded with 12 diamonds and the birthstones of the 12 zodiac signs. The winner of Fireworld got a chalice made of platinum and gold studded with diamonds, rubies, sapphires, pearls, and green jade. The winner of Waterworld would get a crown made of gold decorated with diamonds, rubies, sapphires, and aquamarines. The winner of Airworld would get a Philosopher's Stone, a large piece of white jade encased in an 18-karat gold box adorned with emeralds, rubies, and diamonds. Damn. According to Atari's advertising campaign, these prizes were valued at $25,000 each. But that wasn't all. The 4 winners would come back for one final competition, and the winner of that would win a jewel-encrusted sword with an 18-karat gold handle and a silver blade covered with diamonds, emeralds, sapphires, and rubies. The sword was valued at $50,000. In total, that's $150,000 worth of treasures, and this was in 1982 and 83, so you can balance that out.
Not since the medieval times have I heard of a treasure quest of this magnitude. It gets you really excited to play the games, so that's what I call a promotion. You'd be wearing your Sword Quest t-shirt with your comic books and posters, drinking out of your gold chalice with your crown, Philosopher's Stone and sword, and not to mention your Sword Quest video gaming cartridges exclusive from Atari.
Well, too bad the contest is all over, so there's not much point in playing the games today. If you picked up one of these games right now with no instruction manual and no explanation, you wouldn't have any idea what to do. Every time you go to the next room, it sounds like an explosion. That's what's so great about Atari. Something as simple as going through a door is an event. Every room's a different color, and there's no end. It just keeps going and going. If you look at the manual, you'll see that each room represents a sign from the zodiac, and if you keep moving, you'll come around full circle. But there's only so many colors, so it's easy to confuse Aries with Libra or Capricorn with Leo. Each room has a hidden chamber where you find treasures, but sometimes before you get to the treasure, you have to pass through a nuclear waterfall or jump on laser rafts. These kind of games, you gotta use a lot of imagination. When you get to a treasure chamber, you can pick up items or drop them. By putting the right combination of items in a certain room, you'll trigger a clue.
Whoa. Now what could that mean? 16:4. The comic book. Page 16, panel 4. I don't see anything. Oh. Wow.
There's 10 hidden words, and they're supposed to make a sentence, but 5 of them are bogus. The only way to figure out which are the right words is to find a subliminal hint on the first page. The words prime and number are a different color than the rest, so this means you only use the clues that are prime numbers. Let me tell you, in 1982, people had a lot of time on their hands and a lot of creativity to figure this out. Out of 5,000 entries, only 8 gamers got the right sentence. The winner was 20-year-old Stephen Bell. Good work, man. The second game, Fireworld, was basically the same principle, except this time the rooms are laid out to follow the Tree of Life. The only things that are very different from the first game are the action sequences. What are we doing here? Hitting birds with a pole? Throwing knives? Now you're actually steering knives into a turkey club sandwich. This part, you're like a black eagle shooting bullets at snakes, all with glorious Atari sound effects. I think this game was a little easier than Earthworld because this time over 50 gamers found all the clues. So Atari had sort of a tiebreaker where they made everyone write down what they liked about the game.
Damn, that's a good game. Gee whiz, I sure love that game.
And somehow, based on those answers, they narrowed it down to 50 contestants. Michael Rideout was the final winner and received the Golden Chalice. The third game, Waterworld, is when the shit hit the fan. The infamous video game crash of 1983 was taking effect, and Waterworld was released in a limited quantity, making this an extremely rare game. It had only 7 rooms, significantly less than the previous games. This time, it was based on the chakra structure. Appropriately, its action scenes all had something to do with water. Either you're trying to swim around sharks, dodge squids, or hop on icebergs. The contest never happened. Atari's financial problems led them to sell the company and pull the plug on the whole thing. The fourth game, Airworld, is just what it is, air. It never got made, though a prototype has been rumored and even hoaxed.
It's a very sad end to what could have been the greatest gaming event in history. An adventure series with rooms based off mythology came with comic books, a chance to win real treasures, and then it all vanished.
The biggest mystery of all is whatever happened to the remaining treasures. Eyewitness accounts and pictures prove that they all existed because they were on display during the competition. But where are they now? The guy who bought Atari was a guy named Jack Trammell. Some comments online from people in the business have said that they've seen the sword hanging in Trammell's living room. There's no pictures or any hard evidence to support this, but if he does have the sword, it's most likely he has the crown and the Philosopher's Stone as well.
Somebody's got to find out. The real sword quest is the quest for that sword and the other treasures. They belong in the hands of gamers who earn them. You know, everybody who put those games in their Ataris had a chance of winning. It was something to dream about, but that dream's been thrown down the toilet. It's 30 years later, but I say the contest must go on. Finish the last game. You can't have earth, fire, and water without air. The balance of the cosmos must be restored. The true bearer of that sword must be found. The kingdom of nerdom depends on it. Pong. A simple word, a simple idea. It's just Pong. It was one of the first video arcades from 1972. A simple screen mounted inside what looked like a carved tree stump. You could call this the wooden age of video games, when everything was made of wood and two people playing tennis looked like two glow sticks batting a square ball back and forth. Yeah, this was before circles were invented. In spite of its simplicity, it's a fun and addicting game, even to this day. I thought it was fun. Apparently people thought so too back then. That's why they made a home Pong console, so you can play it at home. And then there was another one, and 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 another one. There was like 9 million fucking Pong consoles. A Pong console can refer to any game system made in the 70s that didn't utilize cartridges. Instead, they had one built-in game, which was Pong. Sometimes they included different variations, certain kind of updates, but it's mind-blowing to think that such a simple game could have inspired so many pieces of hardware to play it. So, just for shits and giggles, we're going to take a look at all the Pong consoles, which I happen to own. This right here is the Tournament 1000 by Unisonic. Unfortunately, this one doesn't work, but with game consoles this old, that's something you have to expect. From what we can assume, you can select between 4 different kinds of Pong. And over here, it looks like the game didn't even have the technology of keeping score, so you have to do it manually, which is pretty shitty. Even the most basic Pong games kept score. The controllers slide out right here, Now that's what you call a basic controller. Next, the APF TV Fun. That's a great name, isn't it? The console's got that wooden paneling, and it's shaped like some kind of spaceship. The controllers are like cylinders. You move the paddle by turning this thing right here. This game is your basic Pong. This little switch here changes the type of Pong. One thing that's typical about Pong consoles is that the sound effects never come through the TV. They come from a built-in speaker on the console itself. I guess you can say it's similar to the Wiimote, how certain sound effects come out of it. Next, the Wonder Wizard. Looks like a slab of wood with game dials thrown on it. It was literally built from a Magnavox Odyssey using the same circuit board and part of the plastic casing. Also, it uses the same video connector. It's the most bizarre thing I've ever seen, and as far to my knowledge, it only exists on the Odyssey and the Wonder Wizard. This might be a good time to bring up that most of these old consoles have a connector that looks like this. You have to plug them into a box and then screw the box into your TV. But I say, get yourself one of these, plug it into the coaxial input on your TV, plug the game in, and tell that box to go fuck itself. However, the Odyssey and Wonder Wizard, with this fucking weird shit, you have no choice but to use a box. And even worse, it has to be a special box that takes this crap. And after all that, you're lucky if the picture comes in clear. Channel 3, Channel 4, what the fuck? The left paddle won't stop flickering, and the right paddle doesn't even exist. Where is it? Where is it? And speaking of weird hookups, the worst of all is the RCA Studio 2. Technically, it's not a Pong console because it uses cartridges, but when the hell am I ever going to talk about this thing? Typically, any game system will use two wires, one for the AC adapter and one to plug into the TV. But then there's shitty consoles like this that think they're being cutting edge by combining both the wires into one. In other words, both the video connector and AC adapter plug into the same box, which then plugs into the TV. Again, forcing you to use a box and to unscrew it every time you want to play a different game system. So, technically speaking, the video signal is traveling up this wire, and then the electricity coming from the wall socket is coming back through the same wire. I don't even understand how that works. The only other system I know that does that is the Atari 5200. We all know how much ass that thing sucks. One last thing to say about the RCA Studio 2, it doesn't even have any external controllers. Two players would have to huddle around and use the keypads. Man, if there was an RCA Studio 1, I'd hate to see it. Next, the Radio Shack TV scoreboard. Looks like a remote for a TV with a Siamese twin. Pull this off, you give it to your friends, say, fuck you, this is all you get. Look at me, I got all this shit. I'm in control, motherfucker. Oh, why does the ball keep going through the paddle? Serve, reset, reset, serve. I'm playing Ghost Pong. Oh, there's color? All of a sudden the color comes on? The Sears Super Pong Telegame. Simple enough. Two little knobs for controllers. Works alright. Basic Pong. You got 4 different kinds of Pong. Like, what the hell is this? Reverse Pong? Okay, now what's this? Asshole Pong? That's not fair. Color Sport 8. Now this is badass looking. The controllers pop out the sides like that. 2 more controllers plug in, so I guess you could have 4 players. Got all these switches here, 4 different games, handball, hockey, tennis, skeet. Okay, what's going on? All they do is change color? Hockey's red, tennis is blue. Is that it? I don't even know if this thing's working right. Ricochet. Well, this is excessive. Instead of 2 controllers, let's have 2 consoles. Aside from the clunky design, the game works.
Babe. Did you know the price of a stamp is going up to 55 cents? It's fucking bullshit.
Works okay. Except the right controller is a little jittery. That's what happens. The thing about these Pong consoles, and one of the things that makes them so fun to play, is that the paddles move so fluently. It's like an analog control that doesn't exist in games today. The downside is that they break easily, and sometimes you get this jittery movement. This yellow bastard here is called the TV4 four-way video game. Rolls right off your tongue. Well, you already know how I feel about these accursed boxes. How do you think I feel that this one is permanently attached to the fucking game console? These things come from hell. These forks at the end might as well be the devil's pitchfork. One of them's chewed off, so I have no way of connecting it to the TV. And I have no way of replacing the box. You think that makes me happy? It doesn't. Another one I can't play is the Color TV Game 6. It was made by Nintendo in 1977. Pretty cool. It was only released in Japan, which is why it won't work on my American TV. I've heard something about turning the channel to 95, but none of my TVs go any higher than 82. Apparently, it has 6 games, and 2 players would have to grapple for the controls. Nintendo had an updated version with 15 games and detachable controllers. Here's the Volley 6, fresh in the box. Ah, that stained white color, tasteless wood grain. It reeks with age. The controllers dismount, and you got a nice tray to hold your beer. Fuck, almost. The games are pretty typical. It's your average Pong, with one exception. It's got some gun games. I don't have the gun that goes with it, but as you can see on the box, it was some serious shit. This is an example of a Pong console that uses batteries. That's another thing I need to mention. It's always C batteries, but you have the option of using an AC adapter. Now, tell me, what would you rather do? Run to the store to get some C batteries to play your Volley 6, or just plug it in the wall? The only problem is that a lot of these Pong consoles did not include the AC adapter. Now, I don't know if that's because people lose them or they break, but judging from the box and just the fact that batteries are an option, I imagine a lot of times they didn't include it. Now, what are you going to do with batteries? Play it at the fucking beach? Did Pong consoles have some kind of deal with the battery companies to sell more fucking batteries? Alright, this is the Magnavox Odyssey 4000. In between the Odyssey and Odyssey 2, which were cartridge-based, Magnavox made a whole bunch of Pong consoles, naming them after the 1000 digits. The biggest innovation here is that you can move in any direction, rather than just straight up and down. The Fairchild Channel F was another innovation. It's a cartridge-based console, but it includes a great Pong game. The controllers were the most complicated yet, and it takes some time getting used to, but when you do, it's awesome. Rocking the stick moves the paddle in any 4 directions. Twisting and turning changes the angle the paddle's facing. Pushing and pulling moves the goalie up and down. If you play with a friend, it makes for a busy and intense game of Pong. This is the Coleco Telstar. Once again, the controllers are built on the console. There's 3 settings: tennis, hockey, and handball. It's another basic Pong console. At last, we have the Coleco Telstar Arcade. Look at this mess. A steering wheel? A gun? What madman came up with this? Believe it or not, it actually uses cartridges. Have you ever seen a cartridge like this? A silver triangle that snaps onto the top of the console? On one side, you have a regular Pong game. On the other, you have a racing game. The lever controls your speed, and the wheel steers your car vertically on the screen. It's kinda cool. The gun game is like trying to shoot falling stars. It's impossible, but the gun's probably broken, so who knows. Well, that's Pong for you. All these different consoles goes to show how such a simple game could become such a hot-selling franchise. I could see people thinking 30 years ago, wow, Pong, this is where it's at. It ain't gonna get any better than this. Now what's this here, this Xbox 360? Some modern game system? I don't know, maybe it has advanced graphics. Might even be in color. Let's check it out.
This food truck is our baby. And like any baby, it's loud, stressful, and draining. And we love it. I refuse to let migraine keep me from saying, I am here.
Aimovig, a preventive treatment for migraine in adults, reduces the number of monthly migraine days. For some, that number can be cut in half or more. The most common side effects are pain, redness or swelling at the injection site, and constipation. Talk to your doctor about Aimovig and be there more.
It's a Nintoaster. And yes, it works. Are you ready for some action? Some Action 52? I suppose so, because I get requests for this game all the time. Like this one right here. Action 52. Fuck this game, please do a review of it. You asshole. Thanks. Wow. I guess I gotta do it now. Let's start with the cartridge. It's the freak misfit of the NES library. Games came in gray, black, blue, silver, gold, but clear? You can tell just by looking at it. This is a game that's so bad, it has nothing to hide. Another thing, if you play it for more than an hour, not that you'd want to, it gets really hot and smells like burning plastic. It's not because of the toaster. The same thing happens if you play in the top loader. Not only is this game crap, but it's crap that comes with a price. $199. That's a lot of money, but there's 52 games. So let me calculate this. $199 divided by 52 equals, well, you gotta pay tax too, so let's just say $4 a game. Wow, what a deal! 52 action-packed games bundled into one cartridge, all for an efficient price. It was every kid's dream. More games! More games! Yeah! Lights, camera, Action 52. Oh!
Make your selection now.
Well, let's get this thing started. We're gonna have ourselves a little marathon here and determine if the $199 was worth it. Game number 1, Fire Breather. Okay, well, it's pretty self-explanatory. And would you know this is the only game on the entire cartridge that's 2 players only? Gee, which game should we start with? Well, how about the only game you can't play alone? Well, that's $4 wasted already. Number 2, Star Eagle. Who's gonna dodge that? Nobody! Not the first time. You'd have to know, oh, this is gonna be a vertical 2D shooter, and there's gonna be an obstacle immediately at the start of the game. That's one way to get you on your toes. Other than that, it's real easy. As long as you keep firing, none of the enemies come anywhere near you. I guess that makes sense. If I was an intergalactic vacuum cleaner getting shot at, I'd be like, oh, fucking hell, there's a menorah shooting Q-tips. Get out of the way. Not even the first level boss wants to be involved. Sometimes it doesn't show up at all, and you're stuck in a dead end. What happened? Did the game give up? Oh, that's another $4. Next, number 3, Illuminator. You're not even allowed to see in this game? Real fun idea. For a room that has about 1,000 light bulbs, it sure goes dark a lot. And they're just decoration. Thought you could light a room with a light? No, you gotta kill vampires. But after you've killed one, you only get 1 second before the room goes dark again. Who wants to play a game that's pitch black? It's so black I can see my reflection in the screen. The question is, how much more black could this be? And the answer is none. And no, he can't go any higher. This is it. Great fucking game. Number 4, GeForce. What? Or just GeForce. It's another 2D shooter. You know what? This would be okay for Atari 2600. The only 2 controls are move and shoot. This game was made in 1991, the same year Super NES came out. Not to mention, if you want to play a good 2D side-scroller game on the NES, try fucking Light Force. And what is this anyway? An inside-out dolphin shooting at roadkill toads? I don't know, I'm just using my imagination. That's all you have when you play this miserable pile of goat shit. Number 5, Ooze. Oh, wow, a title screen? Really? Oh my god, it's...
Shippickle,
Alrighty then, okay. Well, this is the first game that uses the B button for jumping. Any gamer who grew up with Super Mario Brothers expects A to jump, but that's the least of her worries. To jump over a hole, you have to tap the B button and then press over. If you're holding the B button like you normally would, it locks you vertically until you let go. It's an anomaly of game programming. You know what's really weird? Whenever you restart the menu, it always starts at ooze. Is that the programmer's personal recommendation? Well, so far, every one of these games is a bomb. But out of 52, I'm sure that eventually we'll find one that's decent. I hope. Number 6, Silver Sword. Well, green, green, and more green. What is this? A cabbage patch on a golf course infested with killer scrotums? This is a disgrace to the NES. The same platform that brought us games like Legend of Zelda. Silver Sword. The sword isn't even silver. Maybe it's corroded. Number 7, Critical BP, or Critical Bypass. Oh, now it's spelled with a Y? Oh, that's dreadful. It's like an optical illusion. Well, that's pretty bad when the game causes eye strain and you can't even fucking look at it. What is this anyway? A pogo ball and a Segway shooting at birthday presents? Oh, Critical Bypass. It's critical that you bypass this game. Number 8, Jupiter Scope. Nice, another space shooter. This time you're a dead whale shooting at flaming condoms. That's what it looks like. The screen never moves. It's like Space Invaders, except without many invaders. Half the time, you're just sitting around waiting. Come on, give me something to shoot at. Losing at this game is impossible. Just hold down the fire button and move back and forth. Okay, what's next? Number 9, Alfredo, or Alfred and the Fedek. Yeah, Fedek. You never heard of Fedek? What happened? Where's the fucking game? Well, there's no game here. What happened? Did the programmers pass out, or did they just figure nobody would check all 52 games? Well, that's $4 wasted, but I guess I can't say I'm really too excited over playing a game called Alfredo, also known as Alfred and the Fedek. Number 10, Operation Full Moon. Now, that's puke green if I ever saw it. The nauseating hue combined with the texture of vomit makes me think that this game ate Silver Sword and barfed it out. Number 11, Dam Busters. Those damn busters. Well, it should have been called Alien Beaver Tomato Fight. That's all it is. You're a beaver shooting tomatoes and navigating through a maze. Oops, dead end. What the shit? You can't go back? I'm trapped? You're shitting me. This game is shitting me. Number 12, Thrusters. Another space shooter. Well, it's the same game as before, just different graphics. Where do they come up with these objects? I'm running out of imagination here. I can't decipher anything. Especially when the game starts having a fucking seizure. Number 13, Haunted Hill. Wow, a human being. I can't believe it actually looks like something. Man, her boobs are bigger than her head. It's a shitty side-scroller with the same bad controls as Ooze. Sadly, it's the best game so far. Out of the way, you fucking ghosts. Here comes Mrs. Tits, jumping like she's on the moon. Die, you onion-faced balloon floating, thing. I died by touching the air? Number 14, Chill Out. I wish I could chill out. This is horrendous. This one's basically an Eskimo snowball massacre. Climb down ships and ladders and throw snowballs. What's this? I died in midair? That seems to be a theme we're running into here. This game doesn't even care. It sucks. Gee, how much money did we waste so far? Like $56, I think? It's already exceeded the average price of a Nintendo game. Number 15, sharks. Yeah, sharks. Sometimes sharks. Most of the time not. Well, you're stuck on this one screen, but you sure have full range. You can swim through the ocean floor. And that's all it is. Just hope for sharks to come and shoot them. Number 16, Megalonia. Another space shooter? Flying through McDonald's arches? No thanks. Number 17, French Baker. Oh man, you're a chef and the kitchen is really getting out of hand. Everything's trying to kill you. Hoagies, envelopes, and dog nuts. And what do? Hit them with your rolling pin. And don't drop down, you'll disintegrate. That's always nice. Number 18, Atmos Quake. Oh, another space shooter? I pass. I'm only up to number 19? Jeez. Fuck. Number 19, Meon. Fuck. Okay, get this. You move from square to square, hoping that the next square won't make you explode. So it's like a memory game that can only be done with trial and error. Good lord. Number 20, Space Dreams. Oh my, what's this gonna be? Why, of course, another space shooter. This time, you're a pacifier shooting at weird dolls, rabbits, and safety pins. Safety pins as enemies in a video game. Where do they come up with this stuff? Gee, what kind of enemy could I have for this game? I have 32 games left I have to program, so I have to hurry up. Ah, safety pin. That'll be perfect. Next game. Number 21, Streamers. You're a clown climbing up platforms like Spider-Man. Ooh, a rabbit in a hat. What does that do? Nothing at all. A bag of money? How about that? It turns into a green, frowning face. Is that supposed to teach you a lesson that taking money is greedy? No, I think I'm reading way too deep into it. Oh, then the game crashed. Good. Number 22, Spread Fire. What is this? They should have called this Shooter Games 52. This time, you're a lobster. You don't go anywhere, and half the time, there's nothing to shoot at. These kind of games must have been the easiest to design. Make a black background, covered in dots, and call it space. You know what? It's getting old. Number 23, Bubblegum Rosie, or Bubblegum Rossi. Yay! I've always wanted to play a game where I'm a little girl shooting bubbles. Wait a minute, you can't even kill people? Well, what do you expect? They're bubbles. You can jump on the enemies. Or wait, can you? And falling in spikes doesn't hurt you. This game has no rules. Micro Mike. Wow, look out, Micro Mike, you're going too fast. Even if you have the quickest reflexes, you'll never be able to avoid the walls or other random objects that stand in your way. If only Micro Mike would slow the fuck down. Number 25, Underground. Well, at least it looks like underground. Wait a minute, this guy can fall down 50 feet and survive, but if he touches the mushrooms, he spins around like a bowling pin and dies? What am I supposed to do here? What do I do? Wow, 25 shitty games. It's still going. This is endurance, man. I've never played such a huge compilation of crap in my life. It was the whole idea to make so many shitty games that there'd be no more shitty games left to make. Out of all these, there's gotta be at least one that's tolerable. Number 26, Rocket Jock, or Rocket Jockey. You're a cowboy on a rocket with a lasso. If you actually used the lasso, that would be kind of cool. But I guess they figured they didn't have enough games that shoot. Yeah, kill those cows. Turn them into a bowl of cereal with a puppy dog. Number 27, Non-Human. Well, isn't that an appropriate title? Everything about these games are non-human, except for that very human-like face. Or are they aliens? What are these for? Other than the faces just being the area where you die, which takes up half the screen. You know you're playing a great game. You can't even jump over a hole. You can try all day, but you'll always fall down into the purple dimension of green faces. Number 28, Crybaby. By now you'd be crying, so it's like the game is mocking you. Okay, what's wrong with this picture? Baby, adult, baby, adult. And what about him? Huh? What the hell's going on here? Why does the floor look like ice cube trays? What are you attacking with? Why do you die when you fall off the furniture? Why? What? Why? Number 29, Slashers. Slashers? I thought it'd be like a horror game. Instead, it's a poor man's version of Double Dragon. Saying that is being extremely generous. It makes bad dudes look like a masterpiece. At least the backgrounds change. What are these, beer steins? You're not even allowed to walk past anybody. When an enemy appears, you stop dead in your tracks and can't move until you have a punching match to the death. There's zero strategy. You just mash buttons. And what are these, hookers? I guess this guy doesn't understand the concept of a hooker. You're supposed to fuck her, not fuck her up. Die, boob lady. Number 30, Crazy Shuffle. Could the characters be any smaller? You're a tiny, indescribable object shooting tiny dots at other tiny objects. Sounds like fun? Well, guess what? It isn't. Number 31, Fuzz Power. Well, Fuzz is right. You're some guy with a big nose, big feet, and lots of fuzz. You roll around fighting blow dryers and hair combs. What's that? Popcorn? Oh no, I'm getting hit. I'm losing my fuzz. Now I'm naked. Yeah. Whoever came up with this is an asshole. Whoever came up with this is an asshole. Ass. Hole. Ass. Television makes a lot of sense. Number 32, Shooting Gallery. The easiest shooting game ever. The targets never disappear until you hit them. There's no time limit. You never run out of ammo, and you can't die. Which means the game will never end. Fortunately, you can go back to the menu by pausing the game and hitting select. Except for this game, the one fucking game that doesn't end crashes when you try to quit. Reset. Number 33, Lollipop. Are you kidding me? Why not a sword or a machine gun? Who wants a fucking lollipop? How do you climb up a ladder? Want to take a guess? Pushing up on the D-pad? No, you jump. Who the hell jumps up a ladder? And you know what? The controls in all these games are so bad, I've forgotten that B is jump and A is attack. I've been playing for so long, I've sort of adapted to its crap factor. I swear, next time I play a regular platformer, I'm going to try jumping with B. Number 34, Evil Empire. Game sprites so small you need a magnifying glass. That seems to be a theme here too. guess you're wearing a sombrero, shooting at vacuum cleaners on the street. Not much to say. I've lost all hope. 52 games, they all probably suck. I can think of some pretty bad games, like Little Red Hood. That's a horrible game. But at least it's one horrible game, not 52. You know what's more fun than playing Action 52? 52 card pickup. You know how you play that? Pick up the cards. Number 36, Storm Over the Desert. Ooh, another title screen. So you're an army tank shooting at other army tanks, which happen to be pink. Also, there's no way to die. Anything you touch will explode. Those pink tanks are fucking pussies. What the hell? A giant Saddam Hussein? How did they fuck up the scale this bad? The soldiers aren't giant, so why Saddam? Now I'm getting tired of this. Can someone at least try to kill me? Hey you, get over here. Pause and select. Get me out of here. Well, at least we're in the home stretch. The third and final menu screen. Another thing that gets incredibly annoying, whenever you die or reset, you have to go back to the first menu every single time. So it's hard to keep track where you left off. Number 37, Mash Man. Well, Mash Man looks like Fuzz Power with clothes on, jumping on eyeballs in front of Legoland. Next week. Number 38, They Came. They came from where? From space? No, that can't be. Next. Number 39, Laser League. Well, I'm glad they spelled laser with a Z, because that's how you say it. You don't say laser. By the way, horizontal 2D space shooter. Next, number 40, Billy Bob. This is different. It's like Indiana Jones, except it's Billy Bob. I'm kind of stunned that this game has some fluent animation here. Of course, I should have learned. In Action 52, you cannot jump down. You will hit the air so hard you will die. You can't jump to the ledge either. That doesn't work. And if you stand there too long, you die. So how do you get over? I don't know. Second screen of the game, and it's a dead end. Number 41, City of Doom. You're climbing the tallest building in the world while the tenants throw bowling balls at you. That's it. It goes on and on and on. How tall is this building? It must lead into outer space. Oh no, please not space. Number 42, Bits and Pieces. Ooh, a monster game. You're a guy in a cemetery jumping over monsters. That's it. You jump and jump and jump. You know what would be nice? An attack? Or how about a health bar? How about anything like a normal fucking game? What were they thinking? Number 43, Beeps and Blips. You're a shape shooting at other shapes. What are these? Reject sprites from other video games thrown together? Number 44, Manchester. A guy jumping on music boxes, punching in the air. I don't get it. Number 45, Boss. Who would think boss means a frog running around with a gun getting ambushed by falling bombs? That's what they should have called it, bombs. There's no way to avoid them. If you go too early, the bomb gets you. If you go too late, the next one gets you. Number 46, Dead Ant. You're an ant trying to make other ants dead ants. Like the Pink Panther, dead ant, dead ant, dead ant, dead ant, dead ant, dead ant. But if the ants make it to the bottom of the screen, you're fucked. Because you can only move left and right. What makes this ant different from the rest? Oh, it's pink. And anything pink in this game sucks. Number 47, Hambo. A pig version of Rambo? No, that would have been too clever. It's just a guy jumping over 8 balls of shit. Or trying to jump over. This is fucking horseshit. How'd they fuck up the jumping control so bad? Have the programmers ever played another video game? Moving on. Number 48, Time Warp Tickers. You're a pair of fingers in checkerboard land with upside down doors. What kind of drugs were they on? Was this game even made by a human being? Time? When you kill things, it says time? What does that mean? time to play another fucking game? Number 49, Jigsaw. It crashed. Oh, thank God. Next game. Number 50, Ninja Assault. Another beat 'em up. If you even call it that. No strategy, just mash buttons. Number 51, Robbie the Robot. More like Robbie the sunglass wearing Bart Simpson lookalike in a blue dress. Guess how this game works. You move to the right and shoot. That's all. Nothing can stop you. You could literally play this game with your eyes closed. Until the second level when there's holes. Now you're screwed. I can't believe they sold this shit fest for $199. That's about how much it costs for a video game console, pretty much. You can take $199, stand on a bridge and just throw it all away. You'd rather do anything than spend it on a broken down dysfunctional disaster of video game programming. With games that crash, hideous jumping control, random characters, microscopic sprites, a marathon of mediocre space shooters, dying in midair, problems with proportion, misleading titles, misleading power-ups, embarrassing weapons, seizure-inducing backgrounds, lack of enemies, games you can't win, games you can't lose, games that make no sense whatsoever, shitty graphics, shitty music, shitty menus, and a fuck ton of other things. It should have been illegal for them to sell this rotten shitload of putrid fuck for any price. I feel humiliated to live on the same planet as someone who designed an electronic abomination of this magnitude. Could they have tried making one good game as opposed to 52 horrible games? Quality over quantity. That's our lesson here. Well, there's one game left, so it has one last chance to redeem itself. Could this be the one that all the effort went into? Could there be a cherry on top this shit sundae? We can only hope. Last episode, we looked at the masterpiece of shit that is Action 52. Now, we're looking at the last game, number 52, Cheetah-Man. This is like the feature presentation. There's a comic book that came with the game, and plans for a whole line of Cheetah-Man action figures and merchandise. They must have spent all their focus on this one game, so this one's gotta be good. Right? He sucks! Monkey butts like balls and fucking dress! Okay. Let's go. Well, it's not as bad as the other games. For one thing, it actually has a story. The Action Game Master was at home playing his video game when suddenly an arm reached out of the TV and pulled him inside. Yo, watch the gonads. When he looked up, he saw 3 gigantic yellow bodies. It was the Cheetah-Men. Oh, really? He began to explain. The Cheetah-Men told of the enemies here in the game world. Don't worry, we will fight for you. The Cheetah-Men ran off. And now, the Cheetah-Men. What kind of story is that? The Cheetah-Men are fighting for some gamer that got sucked into the TV, whom we never referred to again? What's this, a crotch burglar? Yeah, burglars are crotch. Oh yeah, the enemies in this game are so inspired. They even resort to recycling characters from other Action 52 games, like Boob Lady and Saddam Hussein. Dude, think about it. A giant cheetah jumping over Saddam Hussein. Whoa, I never thought I'd see that. That's weird. Whenever you hit somebody, the music pauses for a brief moment. As far as the gameplay goes, there's not a whole lot to say. Just move right and kill everything in sight. What the hell? I can't go up? I can't go right either? Oh, you gotta go right before you can go up. That makes a whole lot of sense, just because the screen didn't move all the way. Now what's this? I can't walk past a hole? Even though I'm as high up as the game will allow. If you can only pass the hole from below, why is there such a big space up there? Not to mention, why couldn't the cheetah fall down the hole instead of exploding into 4 glowing orbs? Oh, and guess how the level ends. Like that. It just stops. What more do you expect? Welcome to the most awesome glitch of all. I'm jumping perpetually in midair. Yeah, I could do this all day. That's no problem. Oh, what the fuck? I went through the top of the screen and came out the bottom and died? You might say it's my fault for cheating. Come on, when I fall down, I don't drop through the ceiling and live. Besides, there's more enemies in the air than on the ground, so I don't recommend it. In level 3, you're a different cheetah man. This is where the game starts to get hard. First of all, to die, all it takes is a few hits. Then because this big tub of fuck is such a large target, you can't duck either, so there's not much you can do to avoid all these projectiles. The jumping glitch only gets you so far. Fuck. Fuck. Oh no! Wait a minute. A 1-up? And it skips me to the next level? Aw, kick fucking ass! Life is kinda cool sometimes. But here's the weird part. The next level's supposed to be 4, but it's called 3. So there's 2 level 3s? It begins with this bizarre flashing disco strobe with Tetris blocks. What's that all about? And what's this? A health bar? I have a health bar all of a sudden? Well, that's convenient. I don't know why it's not in the other levels. And now the jumping glitch doesn't work anymore? The rules of jumping change from level to level? The major reason why it's so difficult is because you outrun the screen, so you're always taking damage from enemies that you can't see until it's too late. I mean, look how far to the right I am. Oh shit. You gotta jiggle back and forth just to get the screen oriented properly. Rhino Man here, or Rocksteady, whoever the fuck he is, he kills you in one hit. Doesn't matter how much health you have, he runs right in and you're dead. The only way to beat him is to very slowly inch your way up, and as soon as he appears, you run all the way to the left. If you're just a hair too late, you're dead. Then you have to make very subtle taps with the D-pad to get yourself facing right, and one tiny step forward, just enough so he can't touch you. It's like the only way to beat this game is to cheat. Guess that's why it's called Cheetah Man. Now we're up to level 4, which is actually 5. This time you get a cheetah that shoots arrows with a crossbow. You'd think that would make it easier. But no, the arrows never hit anything. They're too small and you can only shoot one at a time. It doesn't matter how careful you are, the enemies will always sneak in a hit before you can kill them. By the way, the health bar is gone again, but the formula is the same. 3 or 4 hits and you're dead. And I die on the first 3 or 4 enemies. Wow. The fuck nuggets who made this game thought they were going to make action figures and it was going to be the next best thing to Ninja Turtles? Well, that's the end of Action 52. But they made a Cheetah Man sequel. Oh yeah. You know how with a bad game, sometimes you wonder how could it have been made in the stores? Well, this is a case in which the horror was so unspeakable, the game was never released. The cartridges were taken to a warehouse where they remained for years to come. It was never meant to be played. Then, in the late 90s, a massive break-in took place. The cartridges were discovered and became valuable collector's items. It's a true story, except that the real story was probably a little less dramatic than that. Only 1,500 of these games are known to exist, and they command outrageous prices on eBay. I don't know if I should consider myself lucky or not, but here it is, the unholy grail of gaming. Would you believe that this game is so bad it doesn't even get its own cartridge? They recycled the same plastic casing from Action 52 and put a Cheetah Man 2 sticker on the back. Let's pop this golden turd in and give it a go. The plot involves a Dr. Morvis who creates an ape-man to fight the Cheetah Man. At least it explains who the villains are this time, and no mention of the stupid Game Master. The gameplay and graphics are similar to the first Cheetah Man, and it reuses the same music. Geez, at least try to do something different. If they made Cheetah Man versus Chester Cheetah, that shit would be the motherfucking ass. The only thing original about this game is that you shoot tornadoes with the crossbow. Yeah, next time there's a tornado ripping through town, just shoot an arrow at it. At least there's a health meter this time. But how many hit points do I have? A half and 2.5? The glitch glitches are out of control. Blocks randomly change color, there's a stone nugget that keeps appearing out of nowhere, and what is that? The game's taking an 8-bit shit. You'd think they would have ironed out all the flaws and improved all the mistakes made the first time around. But no, somehow they actually made it worse, like pouring salt on an open wound. You die by jumping. Yeah, if you walk and fall, you're fine. But jumping from a great height, you're fucked. Oh, come on, I can't land on that thing? And why is it there? The biggest issue is not being able to duck. Couldn't duck in the first game either, but here, 90% of your enemies are on the ground. That's a major problem. I still can't accept this fact, so I'm always hoping in vain that if I press down hard enough, it'll duck. Sometimes enemies come in pairs. You can't even jump over that shit. They can't hit me here, right? What? Let's see that again. You can't even stand above the enemies. The only enemies that aren't on the ground are up in the air. Can't jump over, can't duck, and can't even shoot with a straight shot. You have to pull off a tricky jumping shot, but the enemies appear so quickly you don't have time. The second level boss, on the other hand, is too easy. All he does is run to the right, never jumps, never throws anything, never changes pattern, just runs in the same direction until he's dead. Level 3, it's the big cheat again. Since all the enemies are stationed on the ground, the jumping glitch actually works favorably this time. But I don't feel bad about it. You know what, game? All the shit you put me through the first 2 levels, now it's my turn. Yeah, you wanna play dumbass? Well, double dumbass on you, motherfucker. You swine, you son of a motherless goat. Level 3? Both games have 2 level 3s? How'd they repeat the same mistake twice? Maybe it was intentional. Now it's time for the 8 man. Oh, get your head out of my crotch, you monkey fuck. You won't get me this time, you son of a bitch. Whoa, speaking of monkey fuck. Get back here, you shit biscuit. Where'd he go? He's not coming back, is he? Oh, man. Alright, so can I jump up and kill myself? No? Not this time when I need it? This is limbo. This is purgatory. The only thing I can do now is reset the fucking game. You're not gonna get away this time. Yeah! Bitch. Well, I beat the game. At least I got as far as you could possibly go before it fucks out. Well, this is where I'd end things. But there's yet another Cheetahman game. Yeah, Action 52 on the Genesis. They just couldn't leave it alone, could they? Well, you'd think it would be the same as the NES version, except for enhanced graphics, but believe it or not, it's totally different. So before we can move on to the last Cheetahman game, let's take a quick look at what these assholes shat out this time. That music is so Genesis.
Yeah, it is.
It's nice we have outer space on the title screen. I mean, at least they're being upfront with it this time. Look at me, I'm shooting at strands of vomit in Space Town. But to tell you the truth, there's not that many space shooters. There's only about 6. That's kind of astonishing. They probably made up for it with the abundance of puzzle games. There's nothing wrong with something that challenges your mind, but this went way overboard. It's called Action 52. I want some
Did that
action.
weirdo stop
Besides, if
watching,
you're gonna
like,
make a puzzle
immediately?
game,
Yeah,
you
after I
have
told
some
him to go to
instructions.
Chatterbait,
There's a game called
Go to
Echo,
Chatterbait,
basically
he
Simon
left.
Says. Come on, that thing was in every toy store in the 80s. Did we really need
I'm
a
wondering how
watered
often
down
that
version on
works
a
for
Sega
him.
Genesis card?
I don't know.
There's definitely more of a variety here
That's
than on the NES.
really weird.
There's a pinball game, a boat game, a skiing game, and a handful of different action games. But they're all just shittier clones of mediocre NES titles. There's a flying game that's worse than Top Gun, and there's a racing game that's a shittier version of Rad Racer. There's There's also a tank game based off Storm Over the Desert. Remember in the NES version, you're invincible and anything you touch explodes? Well, here, it's the total opposite. You can't even touch a soldier. What kind of tank is that? Then there's games that are too easy. In Alien Attack, if you just keep running right and shooting, nothing will stop you. In the Ninja game, you can actually run through everybody. In Bombs Away, you're running through a village avoiding bombs, but they'll never hit you as long as you keep moving. You can also jump like you're on a trampoline. Look at him, he jumps higher than the houses. And there's nothing to jump over. No holes, no obstacles, nothing at all. There's also a boxing game where the same thing happens. Have you ever seen a boxing match where somebody jumped, let alone 10 to 20 feet in the air? Another theme I've noticed is roadkill. There's a game called Freeway, which is an exact clone of an Activision game called Freeway. They didn't even change the title. Instead of a chicken running across the street, you're a dog. That's horrible! The poor dog doesn't just get run over, it gets smushed into pieces. The other roadkill game is Skater. You're some kid on roller skates jumping 50 feet in the air, of course. And most of the obstacles are dead cats. At least I'm pretty sure they're dead. Why else would a cat be laying in the road? Tell me, if you're programming a video game and you have a choice of all the things that could be on the road, like mufflers, puddles of oil, traffic cones, hubcaps, fallen trash cans, open manholes, of all the things you could put there, why does your imagination go straight to dead cats? The names of these games are as mystifying as before. The tank game is called Norman. Is Norman the name of the guy in the tank? Then there's Sunday Drive. Yeah, just chilling out, going for a nice, relaxing Sunday drive, speeding through traffic at 100 miles per hour on a 5-lane highway. There's no accelerator. All you get is a horn, which doesn't do a damn thing. Oh look, Segaville, next exit. Again, and again, and again. For a non-existent exit, it sure has a lot of signs. There's a lot more two-player games this time around, so if you're playing by yourself, that's just more games you can skip. Dino Tennis is pretty funny though. You're two dinosaurs whacking a caveman back and forth. And a purple dinosaur? Really? Don't we have Barney? Isn't that enough? They recycle the same grunt and scream sound effects countless times. Even the spaceship screams. They must have been really hard pressed coming up with ideas to fill 52 games. This one, called Appleseed, is just a farmer catching apples. Hey, oh shit, motherfucker. You damn apples come out of trees so fast, motherfuckers. Then there's this shitty drawing game. Yeah, try drawing with the D-pad. Game number 51 is called First Game. Seems like a contradiction. Why isn't it the 51st game? Well, guess what? It's Pong. This blows my mind on so many levels. First of all, just the fact that they had to use Pong to fill one of the games. Second, that Pong even exists on Sega Genesis. And third, that the first game? Like it's the first video game ever made? That's debatable. The Odyssey came out the same year, and that was being worked on since the 60s. And before that, there was Space War. And if you really want to go back, there's those old games made out of radar equipment like Tennis for Two. So that's all they got for the 51st game? As for the 52nd game, there is none. It's just a trial run of the hardest levels from the other games. So technically, it shouldn't even be called Action 52. There's only 50 games. But at least they're all functional. Only once I've had a game crash, and it worked after I reset the Genesis. So just being able to play all the games is more than can be said for the NES version. As for the games with identical titles, they're all different and improved from their NES counterparts. In Ooze, you can actually jump better. In Dead Ant, your ant can actually move up and down. And in Sharks, there's blood. So, let's move on to Cheetah Men, so I can clean my hands of this Action 52 shit. For some reason, this time it's game number 13. I guess they realized that there's no sense saving it till the end because it's just as shitty as all the other games. There's no story this time. No explanation, no intro, just the title screen, and then it drops you straight into the game. Is this the badass 16-bit version of Cheetah Men we'd hoped for? The background looks like the wallpaper in a baby's room. And the music, well, just listen. Is sounds like something you hear if somebody slipped on a banana peel. Even the NES music was better. One-hit deaths? Isn't that great? How do I keep dying on the same part? I know you're coming. I know you're coming. Ah, fuck! It's because you outrun the screen. Why's it gotta be like that? And what's up with the punching? When you tap the button just once, it throws 2 or 3 punches. You can only punch while standing still, and if your timing isn't perfect, it leaves you vulnerable. Well, I've made it to the end of the screen, I think. So my only guess is that you're supposed to collect all these cheetah
There's
icons.
nothing worth
I mean,
a
who
dick
knows? It's
in
not
this
like the game
set.
gives you instructions. Oh, and after you die, just once, all the icons are back. So you might as well just reset. Ugh, getting on these vines is such a bitch. Ugh, and look at that. Am I on the vine or what? I'm not gonna let that thing kill me this time. Oh, there's a bat. Oh, you mother of an ass! Look at this situation. Yes. No! I can't even beat the first level, and I'm trying as hard as I can. Oh my god, no, no, no!
Going straight in the shit pile.
I
Everything.
can't believe it. I just can't believe it that this is even less playable than the NES version. If they'd by now, they'd come back down to Earth and unfuck themselves. But you know what the really good news is? I'm done with Action 52.
You know, this is a dumb Pokemon. That Firefox one. Braxian. People seem to like it, though. The one with the fire stick. I never understood what the fuck was going on. These are just all fucking garbage. All of them.
Don't you just hate it when that happens? You'll be playing a game, and then all of a sudden, it starts glitching up. Oh, come on. Metal Gear's fucking up now? You blow in the game, jiggle it around, use different consoles, but it still doesn't work. You know, when this happens, that means that there's something inside your game. Something that wants to reduce the graphics into a pixelated mishmash of garbage. You're dealing with a game graphic glitch gremlin.
Good day to you, nerd. How are you? Good day, sir. As you know, I'm the glitch gremlin. And I've got glitches in my britches for you, nerd. I've got
I'm gonna lay the fuck smack on you. Think I can't still play?
You say it's a goddamn work hard. All the earth tones, the browns, the greens. It's just like Mother Nature. I like to bring them in the room.
It's ugly. Like your mom.
Just fucking nothing. Fucking garbage. All of it.
Son of a bitch.
Try and switch the game as you might, but I can switch the glitches tonight. Oh! And here we have Punch-Out and Iron Mike Tyson. I just ironed out his face. How do you like that? We'll call him Shit-Face Mike Tyson.
Oh my god, one worth 49 cents. Finally, something.
I almost wonder if the Glitch Gremlin had a deal with game companies to sell you all kinds of cleaning devices that you don't need. I mean, would you really need this to clean out a game? It's just as good for cleaning out your ass. I'll show you how to clean these fuckers out. Get yourself a Q-tip,
Oh, not the Q-tip.
put a little cleaning solution at the end, like that. You don't want too much. You don't want too much moisture in the game.
Keep the Q-tip away. Keep it away.
And Glitch Gremlin, be gone.
Oh, you're a real asshole. I'll be back.
Of course, some glitches can happen because of programming errors and can be triggered on command. So for those who want to be a Glitch Gremlin yourself, here's a trick you can try at home. In Mega Man 2, go to the Airman stage. Make sure you're equipped with item number 1. Now it's time to fight Airman, but instead, let's surprise the fuck out of him. Use item 1 to touch the door and see what happens. Wow. Have you ever wondered what it would look like if the Airman stage and Dr. Wily stage part 2 got thrown together in a blender? Speaking of Mega Man, I had a unique experience with the 5th game. It happened a long time ago, and I doubt it will ever happen again. Fortunately, I have the evidence recorded on a VHS tape. It was a long night, and I was hell-bent on finishing the game. I made it to one of the final bosses. Under normal circumstances, I should have been able to see the giant pieces that fly out from the robot's body and been able to use them as platforms. But the Glitch Gremlin was playing dirty that night. He knew I made it far, and that there was no continue code for this late in the game. This was my first time trying to beat Mega Man 5. So imagine my confusion when I kept getting struck by invisible objects. The platforms were invisible, but they appeared to be stationary on the robot. Just an illusion.
What the fuck?
Graphical dummies meant to fool me and sabotage my entire night's effort. My only option was to reset the game, but I couldn't accept that, so I pushed on. I kept jumping at the air blindly. 9 times out of 10 I'd get hit. Finally, after much patience, I got the invisible pattern down and was able to destroy the boss. And that was a great moment in nerd history.
That's impossible. I've never seen anything like it.
I should get a gold medal. Sometimes games can be unpredictable. Cheetahman 2 is a prime example where the whole game is a glitch. As already described in my Cheetahman review, after you beat the 4th level boss, you get stuck in limbo. So there's no way to play the last 2 levels unless by a freak accident. If a blue moon occurs on Friday the 13th and all the planets align, the game will actually start up on the missing levels. The frustrating part is that now I have no choice to play it. It's not like this is going to happen again. So it's like I gotta sit my ass down and play the 2 hardest to find, most mysterious levels in video game history, in what's already one of the rarest games in existence. What a privilege. Oh, and guess what? It sucks. Yeah, just like the rest of the game. Both levels are called level 3, so that's 4 level 3s in total. The final boss just runs back and forth. You stand there, hit him till he's dead, and after that, what happens? You guessed it. Now, if
So
I
how much
ever
did I
have to talk about
pull out of
action
that binder?
Cheetahman again, I'm gonna staple my fucking ball sack to the ceiling.
5, 6, 7, 8,
Double
9,
Dragon
10,
was a
11,
game I
12.
played so much, I used to find weird things all the time. If you touch the wall on the first level, you can become a human elevator. And if you bring the whip up there, you can do
28.
this. Call them glitches or
It's an
Easter
average of
eggs, whether
30 cents.
intentional
About
or not, sometimes they can be
8.50.
helpful. Don't
About
feel like
8.50
fighting the
worth
boss
of
at the end
reverse
of
oil.
stage
That's
2?
pretty
Well,
fucking
don't.
pathetic.
Just walk away. He doesn't even
How
try
much
to
I just
follow
went
you, as
through.
if saying, fine, you fucking pussy. Tired of fighting those big muscle men? Just climb the wall. He's like, oh, fuck that, I ain't going up there. Probably
Apparently
the
there's
most famous boss
another
in
Undertale.
Warp
I don't know
Toad
if it's
from Mario Brothers.
out yet.
First came as mild amusement
but
when games
there's
found you could break the blocks all the way up to
either
the ceiling.
a new
Then the
Undertale
moment
or
discovery came when you
they're
found out
making
you
a
could
new
actually get
Undertale.
above the ceiling.
Well, it got
Wasn't
kind
that
of a weird
hilarious to
culty
see
following.
Mario running in front of the
Yeah,
skateboard?
it's because
Maybe
it's
that was only
fucking
the beginning.
autism, the
If you went
game.
past the exit,
Has
you ended
JonTron
up in
done
a warp
anything
zone
since
where you
the
could skip
fucking
to different worlds.
Flex
But
seal.
then, somebody
Nope.
who had way too much time on their hands found out that
That
if
was
you break
really,
some of the
really
blocks
good though.
form a
That-
very
oh, wow.
specific
That was a
jump,
really
you could
good
actually
comeback.
slide through the wall. This still takes
I
you to
think
the warp
it just
zone
hit
just
him
the
really
same.
hard when the media
Unless
turned
you
against
don't
him.
walk too far.
They
If
were
you
like
jump into
calling
the
him a
first pipe
Nazi
right
and
away,
shit.
It takes
Yeah.
you
Like,
to world -1. Well, it's just an underwater world that repeats in an endless loop. There's also an interesting thing known as the double death. If you die on a Hammer Brother, try pausing and unpausing. Let's check out Mario 2. This game is so much fun. Lifting enemies over your head and slamming them into one another, so cool. Fuck 'em up.
Willow's getting really good at Donkey
Whoa,
Kong.
what happened?
She loves that
Try that
game.
again.
She's just starting to get to the point where she's figuring out the patterns, I think.
She thinks
I love
that
these pow blocks. They
whenever
wipe out
Donkey
all the
Kong
creatures in sight.
makes noise,
There's
she
that
thinks it's
classic
like
trick where you
hilarious
go in that
when he
little
like
dark
beats his
world,
chest
pick
and
one
stuff.
up, and wait
She
for
told
time to
Uncle
run.
Alan,
And now you
she's
have
all like,
twice
"Hey,
the
Uncle
power.
Alan,
It's doomsday for
wait,
this
don't
place.
press any buttons," and
No, it
made
changes
him wait
gravity.
until Donkey
The
Kong
destructive
beat his
force of
chest
power block is so intense,
so
the
she
rest
could
of the
laugh
game
at it.
can't handle
Doesn't
it.
that take
Trouble
a couple
shells and
minutes?
different
It
objects
takes
fly
like
all over the
30
place.
seconds. But she figured out where that happens.
Where'd the bomb go? It like dropped through the floor. I wonder where that bomb went. Ba-bomb. You know that annoying Phanto fucker? That face that chases you around whenever you get the key? Don't you hate that thing? Haven't you always wanted to kill it? Well, here's how. You collect exactly 4 cherries and 4 vegetables. Get the key, let the bastard chase you somewhere where you can get a time stopper. Now, get 1 more cherry to make the star appear. And hurry up, time's running out.
$8 of foils added.
Yeah, I got him. Finally killed that ass face. Moving on to Mario 3. Yeah, might as well. The Glitch Kremlin usually stays away from this one. Yeah, it's a little too crowded with demonic possessions. But nevertheless, it has its share of glitches that you can perform yourself, like sand diving and air walking. As for Super Mario World, there's a neat trick here too. Go to Chocolate Island 3. Get to the goal. Instead of jumping up like normal, you release Yoshi in midair. The screen is still fixated on where Yoshi was, and you can only see Mario's legs. That's
I
only
think I
the
wasted
beginning.
my life with those foils.
Wow, the stability of all the colors in this
I feel like I'm
world
gonna waste the
depends
rest of
on
my
Mario
life
and
going
Yoshi
through this
making
binder,
that
unless
jump correctly.
some of these have some good shit in them.
For
Because
some reason, gamers enjoy
this is a
finding
whole
these kind
fucking
of glitches.
binder of
Maybe
foils.
it's because we take pride in finding
they're
flaws that
so
the
garbage.
programmers
Like maybe I could
overlook.
just do a big
Or
ass
maybe
lot
it's just
of
because
just
we like
foils.
playing
I've
outside
never
the
sold
rules. Go exploring.
a lot of
For the
foils
boldest of
because this is
explorers, there's Mountain King on the Atari 2600.
be kind of fun to put
Getting
up a
tired of the same old platform
500 card lot of
wouldn't you like
foils.
to
I
go
could
to
probably
a
sell that for like
higher
$50
level
or
gameplay,
something.
Literally, by performing a very specific jump, you can launch the character higher than usual.
I wonder if
Then
that even
you have to
exists on
land a
eBay.
very specific spot. If you're 1 pixel off, it doesn't work, and sometimes it doesn't work anyway. You have to keep holding the joystick in the direction you're jumping and release it at the precise moment. Now, welcome to Glitch Heaven, a vast world without logic, a place not only of sight and sound, but of mind. By playing with all the switches on the Atari console, you can cause the layout to change. You can also plug different controllers into the second port, like the paddles or even the keypad. You can even try the ColecoVision controller or Sega Genesis. It's like a mad scientist experiment. I tried for hours and I still haven't been able to find everything. There's been reports of the screen flickering, the character changing size, and strange unknown objects. Will you be the next adventurer to discover the unexplored secrets of Glitch Heaven? From the old days of gaming until the new, it seems like game glitches will always be around.
Here's a
Zelda
500
Twilight
card
Princess on Wii,
lot
I was jumping around
of
when
foils
somehow
for
I got stuck in a room.
$125.
Unfortunately, I didn't have it recorded in the
Nobody
act,
watching it
but
though.
I sure tried to recreate it. It couldn't be done. Let's play Rocky on the
Maybe I'll put it up for $100.
Let's see what happens.
Not you again. What happened to the audience?
Well, you sure packed quite a crowd tonight, nerd. You sure did. Standing room only.
garbage.
Some of the glitch. Your glitch. Enjoy it. Nope. No user setting. Not gonna do a thing.
Yeah, fuck you. It's working now.
Spider Rico.
What was that?
I put it through the floor. That's a good one. Good one, glitch friendly.
This is a big pile of garbage. Nobody's gonna pay $68 for that.
Oh yeah, I'm glitching. Get down, you bad self. Get down. Get down. Get down. Woo!
Wow, I've never seen a game this fucked up.
Not gonna work. Not gonna work. What time is it? Not gonna work, o'clock. In this corner we have Bug-Eyed Balboa.
What the fuck?
What happened to his mouth?
His eyes are popping out. And in that corner we've got Spider Rico with no jaw.
They're like zombies. What is this? Rocky the Undead Edition? You are really one sick fuck. You know that? I'm gonna try Clubber Lang.
Oh, Clubber Lang. That could be a good one. Let's see what else I got up my sleeves. I'm not wearing any, but for my final showstopper, feast your eyes on this.
It's a Clubber fuck. I need a beer.
Oh, you want to play daddy, do ya? Bing! How do you like that? Sip on a nice, cool bottle of glitz. Bing! A nice, comfy couch of pixelated glitz. 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 Bing! Bing! Glitz, glitz. Glitz, glitz, glitz. Bing! 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 Glitz. 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 Glitz.
Ah, I have $270 coming down. It's pretty crazy.
So many bad games to talk shit about. One of them I get a lot of requests for is Zelda 2, The Adventure of Link.
That game's terrible. I mean, it's so bad. It's good.